in the series. In 2012, Alabama State's running back Isaiah Crowell ran his way into Magic City history. And last year, quarterback Daniel Duhart rose to the challenge for the Hornets. Today,
the Alabama State Hornets. The builder. The builder. Today's game now. Today's game is about energy. Today's game is about passion. Today's game is about dominating the opponent. You are responsible for the outcome. You are responsible for the outcome. You is responsible for the outcome. Let's get it.
If they want to win and dominate this game like they have the ability to do, Malcolm Cyrus is one of the best running backs in all of FCS football. Total package. He can run in between the tackles. He's got speed on the perimeter. Look for them to have a heavy dose of Malcolm.
Jay from Game Day. Chris Fowler earlier at Game Day at LSU described Baton Rouge as an exercise in excess. I think we've got that going on and more here.
Oh, and as the game progresses, we've got some cuts where we'll show you everything that's taking place outside the stadium, before the game, before the week started. This is a phenomenal event when you talk about the overall pageantry of collegiate football.
We will be tailgating with Jay a little bit later, we promise you. Freshman Cesar Diaz-Ramon to kick off for Alabama A&M with DeMario Bell back deep for Alabama State. And Bell from 6 yards deep is going to bring it out. 15-20, finds a crease. Upended at the 40-yard line. And who got him? The kicker, Cesar Diaz-Ramon. 46-yard return, and we're off and running in Birmingham.
Just middle wedge, and DeMario Bell's such a good athlete. You want him to make plays, even though that's 7 yards deep into the end zone. When he's in the field, quite possibly the best player there. He's just a junior. He has NFL talent, and he's a game-changing wide receiver.
Daniel Duhart, redshirt junior out of Macon, Georgia. 6 TDs on the season, 4 picks. Here comes Khalid Thomas around the right side, and he goes for 10 or 11. Quickly into A&M territory, brought down by linebacker Darren Graham.
You saw last year that Daniel Duhart was named the player of the game in last year's Classic. I don't know if they're going to need his right arm as much in this football game. They're going to need the running back committee led by Malcolm Cyrus and Khalid Thomas.
First carry for Cyrus straight ahead inside the A&M 45-yard line. He picks up about 4. Cyrus comes in averaging 6.3 yards per carry, 5 rushing touchdowns on the season, and the word you always hear with him is grit. Such a tough player. This time trying to stretch it out, but cuts it back, and not much there. A host of A&M defenders, including tackle Anthony Lanier, bringing him down.
And that's not an exciting play there, but that's the play that Alabama State has to have. You have to just force your will on Alabama A&M. Very undersized defensive line with the 3-man front. You have to force feed it and wear down the speedy defensive line for Alabama A&M.
Hornets facing a 3rd down and 7 on the 45 of A&M. Low snap, Duhart handles it. He throws and caught. Looks like Gamble should have the first down, where that is marked at about the 37-yard line. Just the 5th catch of the year for senior Marcus Gamble.
Well, you see Duhart, just a play action pass, half roll on the outside. Ball's just thrown a little bit low, but good job by the wide receiver going down, securing the football.
Cyrus off left side to the 32. Let's take a look at our impact players when the Hornets have the football, Jay.
Well, I think you just saw a glimpse of Malcolm Cyrus we talked about, but DeMario Bell, he's the one that forces the defense to acknowledge where he is. You must double cover him. And Dexter Reese, he's got his hands full, taking on probably the best wide receiver in the SWAC.
Running left, Floyd and Cyrus across the 30 to about the 26, wrapped up by DeAndre Lewis. Malcolm Cyrus, 5'10", 180 pounds. But does he ever go down on first contact? So rarely, Jim.
Very difficult to bring down, and he's got a motor that doesn't quit.
Play fake, Duhart all alone, wide open is Jameer Hanna, and he'll have a first down. It'll be a 1st and goal inside the A&M 5. Catch number 11 on the season for the freshman Hannah out of Decatur, Georgia.
A great play call by Fred Keiss. After Malcolm Cyrus broke off a couple of nice runs, they started to respect him. You give Daniel Duhart a read option where he can pull it, sneak the wide receiver behind him for the big play.
Picked up 23, first and goal, keeping into the end zone, untouched. Daniel Duhart with his 5th rushing touchdown of the season, and a very early statement from the Hornets, who march right down the field on the game's first possession.
I don't know if I've seen a better team at having the scripted first plays that work for success and end up in touchdowns in Alabama State. Zone read, good job by Duhart calling his own number. But that was a team effort. Great running by Malcolm Cyrus. Great decision making by Daniel Duhart. The offensive line did their job. Impressive drive in a huge game for Alabama State.
Preston Clark's point after out of the hole. Henderson is blocked. Now, that is a live ball and can be turned into 2 points the other way for A&M, but play dies at about the 35-yard line, but they prevent the extra points. May have been Danny Johnson. Got a hand on that. But the touchdown run for Duhart with 6-0 ASU. Magic City Classic, 6-0 Alabama State, marched right down the field for a quick touchdown, though the extra point blocked. Great crowd here at Legion Field, which can hold over 70,000. There's a lot more than 70,000 folks there on the property here today in the stadium and outside. From the one, Tevin McKenzie. Whipped up at the 21-yard line. An 8-play drive, culminating in the 3-yard touchdown run for Daniel Duhart.
And watch the job by Matthew Bates, the left tackle. He's going to make a quick block here, but what I really like, the second level block that he does that really opens up the hole for quarterback Daniel Duhart. Get by that block, slip him. Look at that running lane right there, Mark. I can make it through that lane there, and you probably could too.
I'll tell you what, the tight end Barnes had a nice block there as well. But there is Bates, 6'3", 310-pound senior, who's from the state of New York. Not a whole lot of New York guys on the roster there in Montgomery, but he's one. Well, Jamison Lee is the starting quarterback, and he's going to run with the football. Lowers the shoulder, and he's hit at the 25 for a gain of 4. Lee tweaked a hamstring late in their game, their last game against Southern. And there was some question, Jay, whether he was going to play. Game time decision. Thought we may see Chris Leachman at quarterback, but it's Lee.
You don't miss the Magic City Classic. You know, another non-conference game, yes, but not the game that you circle on the schedule when the season is announced. Always the last week in October. You would have to lock him up in order to keep him out of this football game.
Native of Honolulu, Hawaii. Lee puts it in the air and a quick strike from Montarius Smith, but unable to hang on there at the 30, which would have been close to a first down. Smith, who's a local guy from here in Birmingham.
You know, he wants to play well in Alabama A&M. Completely different offensive philosophy from a season ago. Solely a pistol-based offense with the running back behind the quarterback. One of the most popular offenses in all of college football now.
On 3rd down and 6. And the catch is made by Tevin McKenzie for a first down. Let's take a look at our impact players when A&M has the football.
Montarius Smith, right here in Birmingham, he's got to step up. Start off with a drop ball. He's their big play wide receiver. And Courtney Berry, the captain of the linebacker corps for Alabama State, he's a good one. Preseason all-conference selection.
A&M converted a 3rd and 6, hit for 10 yards to move the chains. And here's a carry for Harvey Harris. He's the true freshman running back from Montgomery with his first carry for about 2.
Part of the reason why they're still meshing at Alabama A&M is when you run the pistol, first and foremost, you must have a quarterback that can run. You don't want average running. You want above average runners in this. Jamison Lee is a good runner, not a great runner. He has to improve on the accuracy of his throws.
Harris again, this time trying off right tackle. Stopped there by K-Ross Stewart. When I think pistol, you automatically think Chris Ault, who was the longtime Nevada head coach who really invented the pistol. And then Colin Kaepernick, who ran it so well for him at Nevada.
And Kaepernick's like running a version of that in the NFL now, showing you that he's a great runner. If you can run in the NFL, imagine what he was doing in college. And with that pistol, you put him in shotgun position to make him a threat in the running game, but also that dual threat that can throw the football down the field and pick you apart.
Well, they converted on 3rd and 6. On 3rd and 8, Smith with the catch in the first down. Up to the 47-yard line. He caught that shy of the sticks and then picked up another 3 or 4 on the run, a gain of 10, stopped by Marcus Berg.
And just a nice read, nice throw, set up, delivers a catchable ball. Monterey Smith holds on to the football this time around. This Alabama A&M offense, we saw them to start the season. They did not look good versus North Carolina A&T in the MEAC SWAC, but now they've been playing better and better. And if you watch them on film, you're starting to realize they're on to something here.
Harris spun down right at midfield for 3 yards. Antonio Humphrey, the left end, who's from Montgomery, with the tackle.
Well, I think when we saw them to open up the season, when they played A&T, we thought we might have been looking at a one-win football team coming into the Classic. I mean, that's how bad they looked, and they admit it. But now, I'm watching them. I'm starting to like some of the things I'm seeing. They're putting more points on the board.
Yeah, they come in at 2-5. Won at Mississippi Valley State. Once again, Harris down by Courtney Berry.
He gave away a victory at home. Homecoming, they had Grambling beat. And Grambling came and stole that game. It was the last 30 seconds of the game, I think it was.
Yeah, lost 38-28, but yeah, it was a lot closer than that score indicates. And then, against Southern, they led at halftime. Had a chance to win that game.
So they're improving.
Well, they've converted 3rd and 6 and 3rd and 8 on this drive. Now a 3rd and 7. Sending McKenzie in motion. Lee with lots of time. Now has to do something with the football. And a sack. Back at the 45 by Darian Barrett.
Give you a little quarterbacking 101. If they call a play with 3 wide receivers on the right side, if you're going to go left to the single wide receiver side, you see where he's looking? He's looking left. Wrong place to go. You have to go right unless you absolutely going to be 100% positive you're going to complete that ball on the single receiver side. Got that from Coach Brian Billup. When I played in the NFL, he said, if I design a play with 3 receivers on one side and you go to the single receiver side, hit that pass 99.9% of the time. That's a mental error there by Jameson Lee.
Nick Carden, who's averaging 40 yards per punt, is short one. Thomas comes up to take it at the 22. Stumbles forward to about the 25. 8:15 to play in this first quarter. The party's going on in Birmingham. Right now it's 6-0 ASU. But it is an annual event. You see, Alabama A&M actually leads the Magic City Classic, but ASU has won the last 2. Take it off, Cyrus. All the way up to the 48-yard line before he's run down by the safety, Danny Johnson.
When Alabama State's playing good football, they're led by their offensive line. All the big fellas up top pulling bodies around, which they haven't been able to do for a while. Great patience by Cyrus, using his size and speed and moves to get to the outside for the big run.
Goes for 23 there. Play fake. Duhart swings it out to Earl Lucas to the 47 of A&M. Earl Lucas, who's a senior from Prattville, Alabama, right just north of downtown Montgomery. His team leading 21st catch of the season. Duhart again, a play fake. Goes to Lucas on the opposite side. Looked like, Jay, there they just called the same play to the far boundary that time.
They called the same play, but it's a quarterback decision where to go with the football. I'm giving the ball to Malcolm Cyrus. You see he's starting to feel it on that one there. Had he given the ball to Cyrus, tell me what Cyrus would have done. He's got a nice hole there.
Nice. He's got a blocker.
He runs right here, through there. He creates something.
3rd down and 3. Duhart rolls out, passes again, and a first down catch. Mario Bell near the 30-yard line of A&M. Tackled there by Justin Lucas. It's a gain of 13.
I think that pregame speech from Reggie Barlow got them fired up because they are taking it to the Bulldogs right now. The offensive line dominating, wide receivers, extra pep in their step. Malcolm Cyrus running the ball effectively, and Daniel Duhart throwing the ball well. 5 of 5. It's perfect on the day. 52 yards in the air.
A&M's first drive, they did reel off 10 plays and over 4 minutes on the clock, but it resulted in a punt.
They sense pressure. He's changing up the protection.
Duhart caught by Archie, and he's into the end zone. Wendell Archie's first touchdown of the season, just his second catch of the year for the tight end.
Well,
you have a flag down.
That's a great quarterback play, though. I mean, he saw the protection. He smelled something funny with pressure coming, had his line, slide the protection over, threw a strike.
Referee today, Trennis Livingston.
Number 74. 5 yards. Replay. First down.
Well, you can only be within 3 yards of the line of scrimmage, and apparently left tackle Matthew Bates exceeded that, and that takes away what would have been a 31-yard touchdown.
Let's see. Yeah, that's Bates right there.
He's on the edge. All right, there for sure. He's past the 3
and
yards.
The ball was in the air. I mean, that's just a tough break.
First penalty of the game. Takes back a score for the Hornets. And they have a 1st and 15 back at the 36 of A&M. Send Thomas in motion, fake the jet sweep to him, pass underneath, send it up to Cyrus, who breaks one tackle, but not the second and third this time. A couple of tacklers around him, including Byron Brower, one of the Brower twins, whose twin brother, or the running back for A&M, who is out right now with a broken hand.
Did you see the misdirection? I want you to take a look at number 90 in red, Anthony Lanier. Where's the football? I've got it. Oh, the quarterback's got it. Going to get the quarterback. Then he gets rid of the football and comes back in there to make the play, but he went in 2 different directions on the great job of ball handling skills by Daniel Duhart.
Thomas in the backfield. In motion goes the tight end Brandon Barnes. Thomas running right with a blocker, cuts it back. Twisted down at the 26-yard line. Once again by Brower.
One thing that Alabama State likes to do is have a pair of running backs that they feature. Last year it was Isaiah Crowell and Malcolm Cyrus, and this year it's been Malcolm Cyrus and Khalid Thomas. And Thomas, just a freshman, what a tremendous upside he has.
And I know Isaiah Crowell's in the NFL with Cleveland, but it's not like they've had a big drop-off here with those 2 guys at running back. Pretty impressive.
Very, very much so. Good job of coaching, but the offensive line has really been the key for this program.
Duhart's going to take off with it. Steps out just inside the 20. Run out there by Devontae Simon, the cornerback.
You'll see a good job of blocking on the offensive line. Take a look at Dimitriy Hickenbottom. Come around there, wham! That's how you seal off the edge right there. You're not going to touch my quarterback. Give him a nice running lane. As a quarterback, you hear the collision and you see you have daylight, you take off and run. Alabama State offensive line finally getting healthy again. A young fellow from Meadville, Mississippi, showing ability.
At 320 may be a conservative estimate on the weight. That's towards the back pylon, incomplete. He was going after Archie, who, remember, earlier on the drive had what looked like the 31-yard touchdown that was called back on penalty. With Dexter Reese on the coverage of Archie. So officially, Archie still only has 1 catch for the season. Last year, he had 1 catch for the season.
And they took a touchdown from him.
Yeah.
That's the worst part about it. But once again, we're at that part of the game where the offensive line's playing well for Alabama State. Start feeding them. Continue to feed them. Get away from throwing the football. Run that ball with Malcolm Cyrus. There it is.
Well, he ran into his own guy, Damian Love. Devontae Simon gets credit for the tackle for A&M, but a little assist there from the left guard Love.
Good tackle by Love. Love can play offense and defense. I think those are plays you have to do, and you'll continue to wear down Alabama A&M offensively. It's not the most exciting football, first down run, second down run, but it wears down your opponent and makes it easier to score points as the longer the game goes.
ASU 3 of 3 on 3rd down so far today. Duhart, 3rd and 10, has room to the far side, throws to the end zone, broken up at the very last moment. Dexter Reese preventing Bell from picking up a TD.
He missed somebody on the read. Open wide receiver on the second level throw. Take a look right there in your slot. Number 3. Watch number 3, middle of your screen. Is he open?
Oh, yeah.
That's open. That's open. Get it to him.
Well, instead, they're going to settle for a field goal attempt from Preston Clark, who's long this year is 44. This is a 37-yard attempt off the left hash. Out of the hole to Ephraim Henderson and snap from Marquise Lovett. Low and no good. I don't think anybody got a hand on that.
They didn't rush the kicker. They did not rush the kicker, and he just missed this one. The life of a kicker going for the kick. Don't. Oh, tough being me sometimes.
The handoff. Brandon Eldemeyer. Richard Sophomore from Miami, Florida, with the carry for A&M up to the 25, pick up a 5. With a 5'8", 175-pounder who certainly does have big play capability in him, though.
They've got 2 running backs that mirror each other. They lost their bigger back on the year. For that pistol offense, you need guys that are more quick compared to being fast.
Yeah, Brower, the bigger back, freshman at 210 pounds, out with a broken hand. Marcus Owens upending Eldemeyer that time.
Now, the true pistol, 3rd and 3, you should have the defense like completely fooled. They don't know what you're going to do. You're going to run the quarterback. You're going to throw the ball. You're going to spread it out.
And they're going to use a timeout, so A&M uses their first. First-year head coach James Spady, who replaced head coach Anthony Jones, who spent 12 years as the head coach in Huntsville.
He was there for a while, and Spady comes in and brings plenty of energy to the job. And you know, when we talked to him and saw him yesterday to walk through, he's just as energetic and upbeat about his program as if they were 5-2 compared to 2-5. He knows it's a tough job, but all the coaches, like I said earlier, have a little twinkle in their eye. They think they're on to something.
You know, as you mentioned, Jay, we saw them in the MEAC SWAC Challenge in Orlando taking on North Carolina A&T, and you hit a nail on the head. I mean, they didn't look good. They lost 47-13, and like you said, we left there thinking, you know, maybe they win a game, maybe 2.
Yeah.
They've won 2 already at this point here at the midpoint of the season.
They've been competitive, and there have been no blowouts at all. They've been in every football game pretty much. A great victory over Tuskegee.
Lee play fake, and he gets swallowed up back at the 16-yard line and sacked. Number 95, Justin Mitchell, the 300-pound senior.
They're strong in the trenches, number 95, and this is going to be just a rush right to the quarterback. Get to him, bull rush. Put the offensive lineman on roller skates. Fantastic individual effort by Mitchell. We talk about Courtney Berry, the good linebacker for Alabama State, but the strength of Alabama State defense is the front 4. They're big, they're strong, and they're athletic.
Well, A&M converted a couple of 3rd and longs on their first possession, but that one a 3 and out. And Carden, a short punt, takes a bounce to the 35, and here comes Thomas. Still on his feet, and then brought down at the 37-yard line. Explosive player at running back, and what he does on special teams, you add that in, he's quite a player.
I've always been impressed with his return skills. I think he's the best return man in the conference. I mean, Willie Quinn's a good one down at Southern, but when you watch him, every time we see him, he's an edge-of-your-seat punt returner. You're on the edge of the seat thinking he's going to break a big one every time. Very good as a running back, but I'm really impressed with his way he's performed on special teams, particularly in the run game.
So Alabama State, who marched right down the field 8 plays and scored on the first possession of the game, then missed a 37-yard field goal attempt on their last possession. Now this is their 3rd possession, and they begin it at the 38 of A&M. After it was a 45-yard punt and a 26-yard return for Thomas. Out to Lucas. He stepped out of bounds.
Yeah, watch it now. I mean, the team that you move the ball on pretty well, but you only have 6 points to show for it. Touchdown, and you're down by 1. They're getting away from the game plan. What was that game plan for the formula for success? Malcolm Cyrus. Let them touch the football. Now they're starting to throw the ball a little bit more on first down, getting away from the first down run, establishing control of the line of scrimmage. I'd be careful if I was Alabama State right now.
Do give it to Cyrus this time. Up to the 30, and a nice run there. It gets him within a couple of yards of another first down. Kennard Johnson helping out on the tackle for the Bulldogs.
And you have to do it because Alabama A&M has not shown the ability to stop the run. I mean, the key for a good defense is to make a team one-dimensional. You do that by taking away the running game.
3rd and 2, and that is easily picked up to the 25. Goes Cyrus, first down. Dropped there by Johnson. Clock rolling, just over 1:20 to go. 8th first down already for ASU. Duhart a little high at the 13 and off the hands of the tight end Barnes with safety Danny Johnson covering him. Barnes a pretty big target too at 6'4".
Got a good one, has a nice body. And that's what you want from your tight ends. You want height because you want them to run across the middle of the field where you can see them when they get behind the linebacker. Another first down pass.
2nd and 10 coming up for the Hornets.
Fan of that.
Penalty. We unfortunately couldn't hear our referee Trennis Livingston, but against Alabama State.
If you throw the ball on first down, that can happen. I mean, 1st and 20.
A chop block is what was called. Apparently one lineman had a defender up high, the other down low. The chop block's going to push him all the way back to the 41-yard line. Duhart under pressure. Inside screen. Lucas. Lots of room. Middle of the field. It may go. Just missed getting in by an eyelash. Danny Johnson prevented the touchdown, but not by much. A 40-yard pickup.
You see trying to finish off the run. Going for the strip, and he was probably down a little bit short. Not quite a touchdown. Good call by the side judge.
1st and goal from inside the 1. Duhart keeping again, and he has his 2nd touchdown run of the game. Almost a replay of the 1st, except he went off right tackle that time instead of the left side.
Calling his own number again. Cyrus would have got in. Somebody there to greet Cyrus, but it's a good decision there. Sometimes what you say as a quarterback and you're making these calls, you have to spread the wealth a little bit. The running backs carry the ball down the field, allow them to get some touchdowns as well. Quarterbacks, we always get plenty of attention.
Well, this has been an adventure so far today. Clark for the point after. It's a bit of a knuckleball, but knocks it through. It makes it 13-0 with under a minute to play in the 1st quarter. Duhart off to the fine start with a couple of touchdown runs, but what I'm sensing from my partner Jay Walker right now is Malcolm Cyrus needs a little more love right now.
Give Malcolm Cyrus some love right there. You don't have to throw the ball on first down. Let him establish. But let's go back to that big screen play. I'll show you right now, you know this is a blown coverage. Look at these two safeties. Each of them are rushing to the middle of the field going the same direction. That's a big no-no. That'll let you know the coverage scheme was not there. They turn their back to the coverage. They throw a screen underneath, and all you have to do is make one person miss. Good job by the offensive line getting into the secondary again. But that was a combination of a good block downfield by an offensive lineman and two safeties not on the same page in their coverage assignments.
Culminating in the 1-yard touchdown run for Duhart. And in case you missed that touchdown run, video of that TD now posted on the SportsCenter app, available on your mobile devices and tablets whenever you need it. 5 plays, 38 yards, under a minute and a half.
Under a minute and a half. And I saw an interesting stat about Alabama State. They're #1 in the conference in offense. They're last in time of possession. That's why.
From the 6, Octavius Miles coming to the near side to midfield. Runs out at about the 42-yard line of Alabama State, but a terrific run back for the freshman from here in Birmingham.
Big return. I like the job he does setting up the kicker to get by. You never let the kicker get you. You beat him to the sideline a little bit, but probably could have picked up a couple more yards at the end of that run there, but nonetheless, really good return.
52-yard return. So the best starting field position of the day so far for Alabama A&M.
So the game plan for Alabama State and Oppenheimer is feed them the football. Now, when you're Alabama A&M, what's the game plan? It's all going to be in the quarterback. They cannot win unless they get great quarterback play from Jamison Lee. His decision making in the running game and throwing the ball, he has to be accurate.
Lee play fake going towards the end zone. Some contact and the flag at the 5.
And with the accuracy of the throw, you give the receiver an opportunity to make a play on the ball and force the official to call the pass interference.
Gilbert called for the pass interference with Odarius Williams, the intended receiver.
I was nervous that the ball was sailing, that it might have been a little bit high, but I think it was close enough in the vicinity where that should be pass interference. Because right when he was going to jump to leave his feet, the defensive back held him down.
It'll be a 15-yard penalty.
This microphone's not working.
Yeah, apparently a couple of penalties on the play. They accept the pass interference, the 15-yard penalty that will move it up to the 27. There's also a personal foul on the play.
So they declined the.
Well, either way, you're going to have a 15-yard penalty and a first down, so it doesn't really matter which one you accept there. The freshman back, Harvey Harris. We're close to 4 to the 24-yard line. Now, Alabama State has the only points here in the first quarter. Both touchdown runs by their quarterback Daniel Duhart of 3 yards and 1 yard. See if A&M is going to be able to run a play here before time expires. And I'm going to say they will not. Nope. That takes us to the end of the first quarter. Alabama State leading Alabama A&M 13-0 in this Magic City Classic. And hey, Jay, I love your 5 when it comes to grilling. Give me 5. Nothing Alabama State. Takes me back to the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air song. The theme music. Harris with the carry, and A&M here threatening. Think about this, Jay. If they can stick this in and get a touchdown, they're only going to be down 13-7, and they've pretty much been dominated in this game.
They have been dominated, and they can keep it within a 1-score game and get the lead with another touchdown or a turnover on points. So important right now for Alabama A&M. You don't want to settle for a field goal right now. You got the ball, great field position. Figure out a way to punch the ball in.
First down at the 13 of ASU. Lee hands off. Harris defended at the 10. Fights his way for about 3 yards there.
When you run the pistol, we talk about the mesh, they need more athletic people. Watch the pull. When you're going to make this pull come across, you got to be a little bit quicker, more nimble on your feet. See the big fella, number 68 in red, that's Allen Cruz. He's a good offensive lineman, but now they want him to move a little bit more. You have to be quicker up the hole.
Straight ahead, spinning. Down near the 1 goes Harvey Harris. And he can get a first down without scoring, and it looks like he did so there. Antonio Humphrey with the tackle for ASU, but it will be 1st and goal.
And you can tell it's starting to get the shaping up as a rivalry game. What you expect when you're playing the biggest game on your schedule, they're going to get the best effort from Alabama A&M today.
Leaping into the end zone and a Bo Jackson-esque Legion Field leap for Harvey Harris. Touchdown A&M.
You talk about going up and over the top. He might have got more height than Bo Jackson. Look at the leap. You talk about a rivalry game. Sacrifice your body. Do whatever it takes to win this football game. That's what you must do in rivalry football contests.
A&M on the board. Cesar Diaz-Ramon for the point after. 6-play drive in under 2 minutes. It started with great field position on the kickoff return by Miles. Up and over Harvey Harris. And it's 13-7. Three words. words. Pace yourself.
Come on now, I went to Howard University. Now,
I know. I should know better.
Academic institution first and foremost. Now, football team, sometimes so-so, but one thing we're always academic.
Got it, baby. The short one taken at the 25-yard line. And run ahead. And Andre Kinsey. Well, Jimbo Fisher's number 2. First down from the 34 for Alabama State. Trying to find a crease, and you don't see Cyrus upended for a loss very often, but he is there by Devontae Simon.
Great job, and we talked about Simon being an impact player because of his coverage skills, but great open field tackle on one of the best runners in FCS football.
Well, that lost 4 back to the 30. Play fake, Duhart deflected in the air and drops incomplete. Looked like Anthony Lanier got a paw on that.
He's active. And I showed him earlier following the misdirection, but still coming in and making a tackle. They put him at a defensive end position from a 3-4. If you can't get to the quarterback, leave your feet. And you saw him do a good job of setting his feet in order to leap. That was by design. That's how you teach him.
Looked like he got a bicep and then a face mask on that. That hit him kind of low. Duhart going deep for Hannah. Late flag, and there was late contact. Simon really didn't even need to make contact with Hannah because there's no way he was going to catch that football.
Yeah, that was a poorly thrown ball, and that should be the one where that's not catchable. I mean, this was thrown 15 yards downfield. Good arm strength, but the feet really got tangled. That ball was 10 yards downfield.
Defense, pass interference, number 8, 15 yards from the previous spot, automatic, first down.
And even on the second look there, Jay, there didn't even appear to be as much contact as I thought as there was initially either.
Yeah, I mean, we thought he was trying to grab, but he went down. That's just a tough break there. 2, one, it's not a catchable ball. I mean, that ball clearly wasn't catchable when it left his hand. And the second one really wasn't pass interference. That was just incidental contact, the feet colliding.
Cyrus wrapped up by Byron Brower. There's Byron Brower. Again, his twin Brian out. He's a running back, broken hand. We asked the coaches, can you tell the difference between the Brower twins? And most of them say no, but this is everybody for Alabama State right now holding their breath because Malcolm Cyrus having an ankle looked at. Help to his feet. Definitely has a little hitch there.
Let's hope that's something minor just for the sake of the young man himself. See the senior. And that's a good sign there.
Great sign. A little smattering of applause from the Hornet fans. Happy to see him pick it up.
And this is why you need 2 good running backs to be a successful college football program. So Cyrus goes down, and then comes Khalid Thomas. Number 7, be careful. He's very good catching the ball out of the backfield. Fantastic open field runner.
2 carries for Thomas so far for 11 yards. Slung out to the far side. Joshua Davis, just his second catch of the year. The freshman from Tallahassee.
It's like every time they run that read option and he pulls it and throws the ball, like the running back is like running for 5 or 6 yards. You're saying just give it to him. The offensive line for Alabama State is dominating Alabama A&M in the running game.
Duhart's pass finds Hannah at the 43. Yards after catch up to the 33-yard line. Tackled by Brower again. He's been all over the field. 15-yard pickup. First down Alabama State at the 33 of A&M. Cyrus back in there now. Does not get the carry, and the pass out to Nehemiah Henry. Again, a tackle by number 32 Brower. But it is a pickup of close to 9. The second and short, and open the playbook here for Alabama State. Duhart rolling out. And everything you've been talking about earlier, if he hands that off to Cyrus, that's a first down plus.
If they hand it off and run the football, I mean, the holes are gaping. So they use a word on the higher vocabulary scale.
Gaping holes. Yeah,
gaping holes. And they're not taking advantage of it. Now it becomes tough because they're expecting run.
And Cyrus falling forward is going to be close, but he actually may be a tad short where it looks like that spot is going to come down.
Yeah, they called up a run blitz. Good job by defensive coordinator Reggie Johnson, bringing pressure from the outside. They knew they were going to run the football. So you're going to see him come from the backside once again. That's Anthony Lanier making another play as well.
You know, fourth down, going to go for it. Looks like there was some movements. Takes a shot towards the end zone. It's intercepted, but this was a free play. Johnson with the pick, but it's going to come back and should be a first down via penalty.
Is there a flag?
Well, I don't see a flag on the field, but the way Alabama State's offensive line reacted, they thought there was a flag, so I assumed there was a flag, and apparently there isn't one, and that is a pick for Danny Johnson. Wow. Some confusion there. Looked like Alabama State thought they had a free play, but it turns into a turnover. Alabama State thought that A&M was offsides, but a good call. They were not.
Yeah, you take a look here. Good job by the lineman. He's already a yard and a half off, and when he jumps right there, take a look. He's still a good yard behind the line of scrimmage. That is not in the neutral zone. The officials got it right. Alabama State thought that he was, anticipated that. Duhart throws an interception on what he thought was a free play. It turned out to be a turnover on downs.
Instead, Duhart picked off for the 5th time this year. Brandon Eldemeyer with the A&M carry up to the 26.
Stewart with the tackle.
Pickup of 6 and a second down and 4. And a whistle at the snap. This time we do have a flag.
Prior to the snap, false start, 78, offense, 5 yards, remain, second down.
Malcolm Johnson, the right tackle, moving early, so they give 5 yards right back. And it'll be second down and 9.
One thing Alabama State does on defense, when they try to force tempo, they bring pressure. That last snap, they had the cornerbacks up playing man-to-man coverage. This is almost a daring you to throw the football type of look right now. Man-to-man across the board, trying to stack the box, forcing you to pass.
He hands it off to Eldemeyer. Able to advance to near the 25. For a gain of about 5. Nigel Bright, free safety with the stop for the Hornets. But Eldemeyer apparently lost the helmet, so he has to come off the field for a play, and it's going to be a third down play.
Big third down right now, but when teams start doing that, you have to be able to counteract that. So the mindset of the Hornets defensively is we're going to make Jamison Lee throw the football to beat us. We're not going to allow the quarterback runs or the running back runs to be the ones that hurt us.
4 wideouts, 2 to each side. Hornets blitzing off the edge and incomplete. Would have been a first down had he hung on, but off the hands of Calais Robertson.
You know, and coaches always say, get your head around. When you come out of the break, get your head around. Take a look and let's see right here in the bottom of your screen. Let's see if he gets his head around. When he runs around, it's kind of a lazy turn of the head. You have to snap that head around and anticipate the football. See, once you get here, snap it. He wasted a yard and a half, not getting his head around the football. It's like it snuck up on him. That's when the timing's not there in the passing game.
So a second 3 and out for the A&M offense. Carden's punt. And the left-footed punter at the 40-yard line immediately wrapped up is Khalid Thomas, but there is a penalty flag.
Hands to the face, number 12 of the return team. 10 yards from the end of the kick, 1st and 10.
So that goes against the Hornets. When we come back to Birmingham, that's taking it to a whole nother level. Cyrus, that Jihad Coleman gets his first carry of the game. By the way, the penalty was on the kicking team. They had said that incorrectly before we went to break. It was not on Alabama State, so it added to the return. It's a win against A&M. Nice grilling, though, partner.
Good grilling, good eating. Do you know why he has to put the lock on the grill?
Because people like you and me come by and eat off of it without asking.
It's that, but also, I'm a little bit of a. So everybody wants to peek it. You can't control your flame, so he locks it so he can slow cook it and control his temperature for consistency.
He not only knows his football, he knows his chemistry, folks. He's no Walter White, but he knows how to barbecue. Sack back at the 46-yard line. DeAndre Lewis bring it down Duhart.
And I think Daniel Duhart knows he's in a football game right now. Great speed rush on the edge. Beats the left tackle, Matthew Bates. Just speed. When they're too big, you have to utilize your speed. Great job getting to the quarterback for the sack. And Alabama A&M has slowed down the pace of this football game. We know Alabama State likes to be up-tempo, put pressure on you. Well, if Alabama State can make this game go to a crawl's pace, that favors them.
Clark, short punt. Going to take a Hornet bounce inside the 10-yard line. A&M's first 4 possessions, 3 out of the 4 have been punts, but the 1 touchdown was really helped out by Miles' 52-yard kickoff return, set up the Harvey Harris 2-yard touchdown jump and plunge, and Harris with the carry here.
Despite all of the offensive futility that they've had, they're just a big play away from leading this football game. Where if you compare the numbers, Alabama State has moved the ball consistently, but they have clearly left points on the field, not on the scoreboard.
Yeah, that punt moments ago was their first punt of the game for the Hornets. Harris again, and he's bottled up maybe another yard. And a 3rd and long upcoming.
And that's a battle that Alabama A&M, I don't know if they're ever going to win that battle, trying to control the line of scrimmage in the running game. They need to attack the perimeter with their run. Now, 3rd and 8, quarterback that's mobile, 3 wide receiver look. You may want to move that pocket a little bit, give him a run pass option, simplify the read.
They're looking in the direction of the 3 receivers, not seeing anything there. Now he's going to take off. A flag. He's up near the 1st down marker with the run and would probably have it were it not for that yellow flag laying back at the 7-yard line.
Personal foul, face mask, offense 62, half the distance, replay, 3rd down.
Left guard Akeem Samuels, who's a freshman from Miami. A personal foul, and a 3rd and 8's going to look even uglier now, all the way back to their own 5.
Coach Spade, that's animated. Intensity on the sideline.
Half the distance to the goal, so cost them 6 yards, but it's a 3rd and 12 from their 5. The hands off to Harris at the goal line. Cuts it back. Still going and adds the 1st down. All the way up to the 27-yard line. He took that handoff at the goal line and picks up the 3rd down, a 21-yard run.
A great balance by Harris, just a freshman. He's had a fantastic game thus far. in the open field, set up the blockers. Nice spin move with your balance. Keep the legs going. Pick up the first down. That was a huge third down conversion for Alabama A&M.
Keeps them from punting out of their own end zone. And this is Eldemeyer in now with the run up to the 34.
Let's set the stage why that was so huge. If he does not pick that up, they have to punt the ball. Alabama State gets the ball in short field position. They score and go up 20-7 going into the half. That could be tough. At the very least now, you think we get 1 or 2 more first downs. We punt the ball. We control the battlefield position. And we can go into halftime if we don't score, only down by 6.
Boy, Eldemeyer and Lee, confusion there. They're fortunate that Lee didn't lose the football. Tackled at the 31 by Hiram Frederick. Some miscommunication for sure. Looked like Lee lost his shoe. You can stay in the game if you lose your shoe. You lose your helmet, you got to come off for a play.
I would just keep an eye on that 25-second clock. If you're going to take the time to tie your shoe.
They're 3 for 5 on third down, and now they say, well, we better take a timeout. We got a couple anyway. Other HBCU news and notes. Grambling State leading the SWAC 5-0 in conference play. But how about this? A final today. Bethune-Cookman beaten by South Carolina State.
Uh-oh. Can I get a mulligan on my power rankings we have coming up? And how about Prairie View A&M? They're getting a new stadium. Plenty of excitement there. They're coming off a big victory last week versus Alabama State. But the G-men, that's the story. The G-men of Grambling. Head coach Broderick Fobbs has done a fantastic job. Impressive victory overall for them. They're undefeated in conference play, and I think they control their own destiny with opportunity to play in the SWAC championship game in Houston, Texas, which we'll be calling.
Prairie View A&M final game at Blackshear Field, played there 66 seasons, and you mentioned Grambling State. You know, it was right about a year ago when things really went bad for Grambling State. You know, the player revolt, so to speak.
Yeah.
365 days later, things have looked a lot better.
I would say when you talk to people in the coaching ranks, they all say that Broderick Fobbs, the name Fobbs means a lot with Grambling. He didn't go to Grambling, but he was raised on the campus. And the coaching staff he's put together with offensive coordinator Eric Dooley and on defense, things they're doing, they've got a program. They took their lumps early, but they are one of the hottest teams in HBCU football right now.
Now Lee with 2 tied shoes has to quickly get rid of it, and it's short of the first down, but caught by Tevin McKenzie at the 35. It's going to be 4th and about 2. Clock running, and they're going to have to punt the football.
That's a tough one. You know, we talk about Lee and being an accurate passer. If he's a more accurate throw, he hits that receiver coming out of the break, and he picks up the first down, but instead it's a completion, but it was behind the receiver, forced the receiver into the dirt, and he couldn't convert. That's why he says give him a catchable ball.
4th punt for Nick Carden, who's gone for 31, 45, and 35 on his first 3, and this one over his head. That ball's still loose, and into the end zone. Touchdown, Alabama State. Tough to tell who actually came up with the football. May have been Bell, but the bad snap went over the head of the punter, Nick Carden, and it turns into 6 for the Hornets.
If you're going to try and pull an upset, you can't have plays like this. You must dominate on special teams, not have your special teams hamper you. Bell made the tackle that forced the fumble. Then he was able to recover the fumble along with an entourage and get into the end zone. I told you DeMario Bell's an impact player, Mark. Sometimes you'll realize I know what I'm talking about.
Give you the benefit of the doubt. Now, did the punter have possession, and was he down? With the only question, it happened really fast. And I think they need to take a look at that, and they will. Our replay guys, Ken Dollar, Ron Gilbert. And I think the question is,
previous play is under review. Score. Touchdown.
You know, did Carden, as he goes back to get the football, does he gather it up, and is he down right there, and then the ball comes back out? He may not have had the football.
Have to take a look at that angle. I think he was carrying the ball in one hand. And keep in mind, the ruling on the field was touchdown, so there's enough evidence to prove he was down. might have been coming out.
Ooh, right there. He actually kind of rolled up on the defender. I don't know if he was down. He may have been on top of the ASU player and not legally down when it came back out, because he has the ball for shortly there.
Ooh. I think that's such a bang play. Be hard to overturn it possibly.
That may have been the best look. I think what we just saw right there from that angle. You know, regardless, worst case scenario for Alabama State, they're going to have it first and goal at the 10-yard line with almost 4 minutes to go in the half.
Yeah, and I thought the knee was down, but when you look at it, as you said, he might have been on top of the Alabama State defender.
It happened so quick. The ball spins out. He's down quickly, but he's on top of the defender. I don't know if there's enough to overturn this. Do you think, Jay?
And I think because there's questions, if there's any question at all, then you have to let the call on the field stand. And I think there's enough there to be subjective to say not enough to overturn it. Coach Spady, Mom always said it'd be days like this. You're going to take your lumps early on in this first half. When you look at Reggie Barlow there, you know what he is? The longest tenured coach in the SWAC.
Ruling on the field is confirmed. Touchdown.
So it actually does use the terminology confirmed. The punter, Carden, was not down with possession of the football. So touchdown for Bell. It is a 19-7 Alabama State lead. Pinning the point after here for Preston Clark, who has had one blocked so far today after their first score. Sneaks that one inside the right uprights. 20-7. Alabama State leading Alabama A&M in the 73rd annual Magic City Classic after a special teams snafu for the Bulldogs.
You have to beat the man. So we agree with those teams. I think the way it's shaping up, it's the 3 undefeated teams, and then it becomes which of the 1-loss teams do you like best?
Miles had a 52-yard return last time.
Did you pick 3 SEC teams?
Hey, we're in Alabama.
I mean, what?
A little populist pick.
Be careful now. You know, some people are going to question why you pick Auburn.
That's very true, but of course, this week we get our first look at what the committee's thinking.
Yes. Tough job for them, too, but I think the first 3 are pretty simple. The unanimous teams that are undefeated. But which 1-loss team is there? I mean, Notre Dame in a losing effort looked really good.
They did.
Just the timing of their loss just happened to be a week before all this came out. I mean, Oregon's gotten over with their loss. Baylor, a week ago, Baylor would have been the team everybody put there.
Jamison Lee, 3 of 6 today through the air, 26 yards. So not much has happened through the air for A&M here in this first half. He tries to change that, and he's going deep into double coverage at the 35 of A&M, looking for his big tight end Jonathan Dorsey.
Take what they give you. I want you to see something here. Watch the running lane that is going to be established for Lee to run through right here. Take a look at this. Great protection. You see it. He's going to go. Look at all that daylight. Right up the hash mark. 20, 30-yard gain. Easy. Locked in on a receiver that was double covered instead.
Lee fires a strike, and his man had some room. O'Darius Williams. First down to the 45-yard line. 26-yard pickup.
Nice pocket. Good job of picking up the rush. He steps into his throw, hits the receiver in stride this time, allowing the receiver to get those run after catch yards or yards after the catch.
Gilbert, who made the tackle for Alabama State, a little slow getting up, but he goes to the sideline. No doubt, though, best throw of the day from Jamison Lee, who again was a game time decision with a hamstring. It occurred in last week's game. Thought we may see Chris Leachman, who actually has been warming up a time or two on the sideline, but has not played so far for A&M. Finds an open man again at the 42. of Alabama State. Again, that's Darius Williams, back-to-back catches for the redshirt freshman from Montgomery, 12-yard gain.
Nice pickup. He's recognizing the soft coverage. And we know once you start completing a couple passes on Alabama State, they're going to blitz you. Look out. I wouldn't be surprised if you saw Alabama State bring some pressure now with defensive coordinator Ramsey. Here they come.
But well read. Eldemeyer breaks a couple of tackles before he's slung down at the 25-yard line. Deontay Ponder and Selma Torbert the tackle, but a 19-yard gain.
They knew the tendency. They knew the pressure was coming. What's a nice little draw? Those work against blitzes. If you can find a crease, this is just a great effort by Eldemeyer at the end, turning Courtney Berry around like a top on that play.
Definitely down before that ball popped out. First down from the 24 of the Hornets. Lee in the air again, but even though Williams has his third catch on this drive, stopped at the 20.
They earned a little bit of respect from Ramsey to pull off the dogs and get a little bit more conservative in their defensive play calling. So now you can anticipate seeing some type of zone coverage from Alabama State.
Here comes the blitz. Pass towards the end zone, adjustment incomplete. Looking for Montarius Smith, who got spun around a time or two there inside the 5. A really catchable football.
Yep. You have to give them a play. Man-to-man coverage on the blitz. When you have it protected as a quarterback, that's your best friend. Then you become the aggressive person. If defensive get aggressive and want to blitz, if you can block it and protect it, you know you have one-on-one coverage. You find your best receiver, give him a ball, and you hurt defenses and make them pay.
Lee had 26 passing yards in the game coming into this drive. He has 42 passing yards on this drive alone. That's incomplete for Williams at the 12.
That's incomplete.
Deontay Ponder with the coverage. Fourth down and a field goal attempt upcoming. And even if A&M could just put up some points here to respond to that special teams issue they just had, that would be a big positive for them. Cesar Diaz-Ramon, 36-yard attempt off the left hash. Wide left. No good. So they come up empty. But Jay, I would like you to give me 5.
This is always changing, but let's talk about the power rankings. Where are we? Texas Southern on the ball. They need to have a quality win. I'm yet to see them get a quality win. Norfolk State, that defense we saw is good enough to win a championship. Morgan State, they're getting it done, number 5. Number 4, Alcorn State. They look like they're one of the best teams. They're still recovering. Number 3, North Carolina A&T. They figured out how to play without Quayshawn Quick, their quarterback. Their young freshman is emerging. Number 2 is Grambling State. We talked about the G-men, the number 1 team in the SWAC right now. Number 1 for now, but they're going to change because they got beat by South Carolina State. Bethune-Cookman upset by the Bulldogs.
So do the Bulldogs of South Carolina State find your way onto that list now?
You know, I dropped them from even being on the bubble. I was like, they're not on the bubble because they haven't showed me anything.
They did today, I guess.
But they did today with a big win, so it's going to be interesting. And, you know, you like to give it to South Carolina State because they beat North Carolina A&T, and I've got A&T up there a little bit higher, but they beat A&T with a quarterback making his first career start.
Minute 42 to play in this first half from the Magic City Classic in Birmingham. 20-7 ASU lead. Duhart going to let it go, and he has him wide open at the 45-yard line. Nehemiah Henry carried a couple of tacklers all the way to the 37 of A&M.
Really good play by Daniel Duhart, playing the quarterback position. Stepped up in the pocket, kept his vision down the field, delivered the ball to Henry for the big game. Good play.
Gain of 42, so the Hornets saying we're not ready to go quietly in this first half. Looking to add on, and almost intercepted. Justin Lucas for a pass that was intended for Earl Lucas.
Didn't see the safety covering some ground from the far hash, and that has to be an interception there. That's a missed opportunity. Jordan Puente That's Lucas, sorry.
The two Lucases not related. Lucas from Prattville, Alabama, though. Justin Lucas, his dad, James, was his high school coach. Duhart going towards the end zone. And that one is picked. Dexter Reese, his second of the game. Remember, he had the one earlier on what Alabama State thought was a free play. His team-leading 5th interception of the year.
They needed this, and watch the job he does of bodying off the receiver. It's a little bit of contact, not allowing him to jump. He stays topside on the receiver, gives him a little shrug, and goes to get the ball. When the ball's in the air, if you're on defense, you're entitled to go after the football. Good job of playing man-to-man coverage, staying on that topside shoulder, coming away with the interception.
So 2 picks today for Reese. It stops the Hornets drive with 1:14 to go. If you're A&M, do you just play this conservatively and get it to the locker room?
I'm trying to let Harris make a play, run the football if he can do something for you.
Well, he's tackled for a loss this time.
And now I take it to the locker room.
Roderick Henderson, the 350-pounder out of Murphy High School in Montgomery. So Alabama State's going to use a timeout. They have all 3 left here. So they're thinking, hey, A&M, if you're going to try to run out the clock, we're going to at least make you punt the ball after what happened last time.
Alabama State.
Yep, and with the punt, make them punt the ball, see if they can deliver the snap to the punter this time and get the ball in field position and maybe steal a field goal going into the half. We know that they have a quick strike half, high-paced offense.
Beautiful Legion Field, historic Legion Field, and it's a few minutes away from halftime, and we know what that means. Most all the seats fill up at Legion Field because the folks that are outside that aren't already in want to come in and see the bands.
Look at that shot. I mean, the students have taken over the band section. Where the bands sit, you have kids sitting there now. Everybody comes in and everybody's walking around. There has to be 40,000 people outside the stadium right now as well.
Robertson. DeAntrell Silman is the Alabama State player that lost his helmet that will have to come off with a minute to go. Alabama State, though, will use their second timeout. Well, the SWAC East Division. Alabama State got off to such a great start, but have lost back-to-back games coming in. Lost at Alcorn State, then lost to Prairie View A&M. So right now, Alcorn leading the East at 4-1.
That was tough because they knew that Alcorn had gotten beat by Grambling. So there's a chance for Alabama State. They needed some help. They needed somebody to knock off Alcorn. Well, they got knocked off as well by Prairie View A&M. That was one of the upsets, and they need some more help now. They need somebody else to beat Alcorn State. And actually need 2 teams because Alcorn would win the head-to-head tiebreak if the records are tied in conference play.
You know, Alabama State had a bye week last weekend, Jay, and really needed it because they played, what, like 4 games in 20 days, something crazy. And Reggie Barlow said, hey, we're banged up mentally and physically. Needed last week off. And this is a team that's going 6 weeks between home games. They've not played a home game since September 27th. They'll go back home until November 8th when they take on Jackson State. They're at Southern next week. Harris to the 25. So the Hornets will use their final timeout and make Alabama A&M attempt to punt again.
When you think about, you know what makes this game special? You know what happens after the game, 30 minutes after the game?
I'm really looking forward to finding out a little bit later. But yes.
There's a concert in the stadium, and this year's act?
Belle Biv DeVoe.
Belle Biv DeVoe. You know any Belle Biv DeVoe songs?
I do, and the one I want to mention may not be an appropriate song right now, so you know the one I'm thinking of.
Well, how about Poison?
Okay, Poison will work. And they jump. This could be, if it's against Alabama State, enough for a first down and allow Alabama A&M to run out the clock here if they so choose without punting.
Defense, unabated, 5 yards, 1st and 10.
There you go.
That'll allow the offense to come back on the field.
You can tell Reggie Barlow, they were coming after it again. They were going to take another shot.
And that's the right thing to do. Coaching-wise, he used the timeouts well. They were going to get the football back with 45 seconds and pretty good field position. But those are things you can't coach when somebody jumps off sides. Just the luck of the draw.
So now Jamison Lee and the Bulldogs can, if they so choose, just run out this clock here. Or maybe they want to take one last shot here from their own 30 with 53 seconds left in the half. Lee sacked. Back at the 21. Roderick Henderson gets him again. We can rewind for about 3 minutes ago what you said with Henderson.
They're just, too big in the middle. The strength of Alabama State's defense is their defensive line. They've got some big fellows there. You got Mitchell, Henderson, stout, aggressive, angry pass rushers.
A&M is going to have to snap it one more time here, at least once more. Lee finds a receiver at the 40 and Williams, and a first down to the 42. So stop the clock with 9 seconds left to move the chains. 20-yard pickup. Chance for one more play here, Jay, and they can use a timeout, which they do have remaining. And think about.
They're playing with fire, though. A team that's got a great pass rush and dominating the offensive line, they could have stripped the football from Lee when he was in the pocket. I thought they were going to get to him again. Somebody could get hurt on a play, and you can't afford to lose your quarterback.
Let's see what James Spady has decided with 9 seconds left in the first half. They're going to take a deep shot. They got 3 receivers there at the bottom of the screen. Lee rolling in that direction. Heaves it deep. And caught, but time expires. Intercepted. Intercepted by Gilbert, who is shaken up, and the half ends.
Wow. That's tough. It's just a jump ball. You know what? That's funny. Is, well, he got the interception. Normally simultaneous possession will go to the offense, but he did a good job of getting the football, but he is still down.
And Devon Johnson, true freshman wide receiver, was the intended receiver for A&M, but the pick for Gilbert ends the first half of this 73rd annual Magic City Classic. 27, Alabama State leading. Take a look at our quarterback comparison. And Duhart has 164 passing yards. Lee put up some numbers primarily at the end of the half, Jay, but I think you'd like to see Duhart maybe just hand the football off a little more.
Hand the football off a little bit more. The 2 interceptions that he had were both in the end zone. That's when you're taking points off the board. And for Jamison Lee, I'd like to see him just become a more active passer. Allow the receivers to run. You don't have to throw everything hard, and that's why he's slightly over 50%. But this is a game which I think Lee has to play well for Alabama A&M. Duhart does not. They need to get Malcolm Cyrus a little bit more involved and let him dominate the second half.
A&M receiving to begin the second half. McKenzie from the 3 to the 22-yard line, where A&M will begin half number 2 here from Legion Field in Birmingham, the 73rd annual Magic City Classic.
For the years that we've been doing this game, it's always a tale of 2 teams. One team comes out very flat, and the other team comes out very excited. So we have to figure out what's going to happen. It's a very long halftime. It's over 30 minutes long with all the distractions that take place. So I think if you're Alabama A&M, you cannot afford to come out in a slow start. You're down by 13, but if you don't protect the football, this game can get away from the Bulldogs in a hurry.
4 receivers in that pistol with Eldemeyer in the backfield. Lead a throw on first down, and a low throw for Devon Johnson. Incomplete.
And that's the one. I mean, it was a stationary target sitting there. If you just throw him the football, let him make the catch, he can turn and pick up 3 or 4 yards. But when you take an inaccurate throw and you make a receiver go down to a knee, even if he catches it, it's only going to be for the 1 or 2 yards. I think Lee is so caught up in arm strength that he's forgetting the number one thing to being a good quarterback is accuracy.
Robertson went in motion, and this is Eldemeyer. Ridden down at the 24 for just 2 yards. So it's going to be a 3rd and 8 right out of the gate. A little slow getting up there. Roderick Henderson, the big tackle. But he gets all 355 pounds back up and ready to get back at it.
And Henderson, he played a fantastic first half, didn't he? Very active all over the football. Disruptive from the nose tackle position.
Had a couple of sacks late in the half as well. Lee better look out the blind side and heaves it and finds a completion to Smith. And a first down to the 45-yard line.
Good job by Smith. I actually thought he had run out of bounds. He's going to do a wheel route. Gets flushed out of the pocket. Good recognition. Takes a lick.
Needed 8 on 3rd down and picked up 22. First down, A&M up to the 46. Kerry Eldemeyer straight ahead. Maybe back to the line of scrimmage. Greeted by Justin Mitchell, big number 95 out of Phoenix City, Alabama.
That's what makes Alabama State special. Henderson, Mitchell, Billups, Mosley, who's had a quiet game thus far, but we know he's a fantastic player as well. They're just going to make plays. When you run the football, they're going to put a hurting on you, hold you to minimum yardage.
Smith, the receiver in the slot at the top of the screen. Lee going deep, and another catch. This one for Dorsey.
And that's what you have to do as a quarterback. We mentioned in the first half, if they want to blitz and get aggressive, put protection in there, protect it, get man-to-man coverage, and find a matchup. And you see here, they protect it. They don't get to him, able to buy some time with his feet. You have one-on-one coverage in the secondary. And that was almost a touchdown if that ball was thrown a little bit more upfield. But that's how you attack a blitzing defense.
37-yard gain, first down from the 17 of ASU. Eldemeyer creaks through somehow inside the 10 down to the 6, and a late flag flies right at the point of the tackle of Eldemeyer by Bradley Street, the quarterback. Looks like they're picking up the flag. No flag. Quickly to the line, and they run for Eldemeyer again straight ahead.
Now I want to see this. You know, as a football guy, you like seeing this. Now it's 2nd and 5, 2nd and goal. You should be able to run the football in this situation here, but that's a very, very good defensive line. So this is when you see if the defensive linemen from Alabama State can earn their scholarships and make a stop right here and not allow the Bulldogs to run the football into the end zone.
Smith in motion. Lee towards the end zone, and he has him. Touchdown. Calais Robertson, his 3rd TD of the season, and A&M marches down the field on the first possession of the second half and finds the end zone.
They knew they weren't going to be able to muscle their way into the end zone, so kind of snuck the receiver across the formation. He's just there acting like he's blocking, a little lazy, fun pass type of play. Good acting job.
Cesar Diaz-Ramon on for the extra point. Remember, Alabama State missed an extra point, actually had it blocked after the first score of the game. So this to make it a 6-point game. Officials still standing over the football. They're not ready to present it ready for play here for whatever reason. I assume that means that the replay booth just taking a look at it, but we didn't see anything.
That was a clean catch. No penalties were down on the field.
8-play drive went 78 yards in under 3 minutes with a 5-yard touchdown catch. Calais Robertson. Now we're ready for the point after, and this is a 6-point game. Well, Jay, A&M, for the most part, been dominated in this football game, but they're only down 6 here just a few minutes into the second half. That's
we did
nice.
that. Dennis and I and Major and everybody. We also introduced the turkey microphone, interviewed John. How many people can say they've interviewed John Stallworth with a turkey leg? So we're cutting edge, and we've got some more things we're up to that you'll see throughout the rest of the game.
Short kick picked up at the 20, and then nowhere to go for Thomas. Well, A&M on that last drive went 3 of 4 through the air. Lee was 64 yards. They're just down 6, which seems crazy, having watched this football game, to think that they're in a one-score game.
It's unbelievable. I mean, Alabama State pretty much doubled them up on offense in the first half. I mean, 240, if you take away the 30, 40 yards Alabama A&M achieved at the end of the half, and they're still right there. And Alabama State needs to perform offensively right now and try and put some points on the board to increase the lead.
Well, they give it to Malcolm Cyrus, and he does what Malcolm does. First down run all the way up past the 40-yard line. He goes for about 20 on first down.
I mean, it's there. I mean, this is what Malcolm Cyrus does. I mean, when they sniff it out pretty good, he gives you a shake, finds a crease, nice stiff arm, finish off the run. Malcolm Cyrus, he can be your quarterback's best friend.
Had 58 in the first half, so tack on 20, he's at 78 yards, and update that even more. Inside A&M territory up to the 37-yard line. Brought down by Danny Johnson, but I think your prescription, Jay, feed it to Cyrus is a good thing.
And these are called runs. See, that's what Coach Keiss, the offensive coordinator, is doing. Taking it out of the hands of Duhart and saying, well, if I give Duhart a read option, he may pull it himself. Let's feed our running back that's averaging over 7 yards per carry. So he's calling design run plays for Malcolm Cyrus.
Well, he went for 22 plays ago, then 19. Here comes
That's not
Bell
fair.
around,
That's
and
not fair.
Bell down the sideline, one man to beat, and is upended inside the 5 by Justin Lucas, but it will be first and goal, ASU.
I said it's not fair because you can't hammer me with Malcolm Cyrus, and then give the ball to Demario Bell, who has the best NFL talent-wise body on this roster. I mean, that's like being a bully. That's a good job of play calling there, and I don't know how you defend that.
A jet sweep that goes for 34 yards. First and goal from the 5. Go to 2 tight ends. Keeping Duhart, who's going to have another touchdown run, his 3rd of the game. Well, Cyrus gets him down the field.
Yeah.
Bell adds on, and then Duhart with the 3rd touchdown run of the game.
They've gone to it again. I mean, it's there. Take the touchdown. You can't tell a quarterback not to take a touchdown. You never get so upset with them putting points on the board. But sometimes you got to spread love as a quarterback.
He has a 1-yard, 3-yard, and now a 5-yard touchdown run. Clark with the point after, and somehow snuck that one in. That was nearly a second missed point after for ASU, but Bell with the jet sweep going for 34. Both teams with quick touchdowns to begin the second half. European College Football Primetime presented by McDonald's, 27-14. Alabama State leading Alabama A&M, and now time for today's Bringing the Flavor from the 73rd Annual Magic City Classic, brought to you by McDonald's.
You say you gotta go to work. When I say defense, you say you gotta go to work. When I say work, you say you gotta go to work. Offense! Gotta go to work. Defense! Gotta go to work. Hornet! Gotta go to work. Hornet!
I love that. I love that. You know why? Because around Montgomery, people think Barlow's too passive. I mean, you know, just put it out there. They said he's laid back, doesn't have a personality. He's just going through the motions now. Does that seem like he was going through the motions in that speech there?
That was passionate.
Passive aggressive.
Tavius Miles from the 10 up near the 14. Well, in case you missed it, video of the third rushing touchdown of the game for Daniel Duhart now posted on the Sports Center app. It's available on your mobile devices and tablets whenever you need it. 4 plays, almost 80 yards in 70 seconds.
Can I watch a couple of those exciting runs by Malcolm Cyrus to get him down there and Demario Bell?
It certainly helped Daniel Duhart waltz into the end zone. I don't think he's been touched on any of the 3. I mean, not a finger.
Yeah. And they've been good decisions in all fairness. I mean, they're always a good decision when you score touchdowns, but like I said, I want to feed it. You know, I had a fullback in my senior year, scored 20 touchdowns.
A fullback?
Fullback. And I threw for 24, and imagine had I gotten just half of those back.
In motion was Robertson, who had a touchdown on the first drive of this half. Lee back to the air. And a flag. The pass is incomplete.
Ooh.
Smith, the coverage, Torbert had the coverage on Smith.
Oh, wow.
And it looked like Torbert had the best chance to catch the football. Who's the flag on?
Yeah, because the ball was thrown to the inside.
Pass interference, 18, 15 yards from the previous spot. Automatic first down.
I thought they were going to call offensive here.
Yeah, but the ball being thrown inside, he's got an opportunity to go get that ball. Now, maybe he had him hooked, but let him play football. I don't see where that.
Tough to tell where that right arm of Torbert's was, but watching it in real time.
That's one of those calls where if you get up and there's no flag thrown, I don't think anybody's complaining. A&M or Alabama State.
Each team's now been penalized 4 times. Lee better get rid of it, and does so, and incomplete at the 35. Looking for McKenzie. Marcus Berge, the cornerback, came over to cover McKenzie, and it'll be 2nd and 10. With Lee, he was about a fraction of a second from having the boom lowered on him from behind.
The pressure was getting there.
Frederick was coming up on him.
He's from Honolulu, Hawaii. That's a unique recruiting trail. From Honolulu to Huntsville, Alabama.
That's a recruiting trip, though, that I'm sure plenty of guys are like, hey, you know, I'll go do that. That's fine.
You leave Hawaii, go to Alabama, Huntsville?
Well, I'm saying the recruiter actually going
to
Hawaii to recruit Jamison Lee. Up to the 33-yard line for Harvey Harris. Of course, Jamison Lee went through Mesa Community College. Third down at 6 upcoming. This is the 2nd possession of the half for Alabama A&M. They went down the field in 8 plays with a touchdown on their first possession of the second half. Lee, quick pass incomplete off the hands of Robertson. A very catchable football. He was going to have to run after the catch to pick up the first down, but had he hung on, may have done so.
The receiving core needs to improve, but that's a tough ball to catch. When you're running full speed and you're only 5 yards across and the ball's coming with that velocity, that's a tough catch. And that's where you just need to touch. I mean, give him a catchable ball. That's what I always say, the catchable ball. It can be firm, but not hard.
You've mentioned that a couple of times now, Jay, about Jamison Lee, who obviously has arm strength, but what you're saying is sometimes you don't need to throw the fastball.
Yeah, because if you're waiting, if you're going to throw a receiver open, then you have to put some touch on the ball.
The Cardinals punt, gathered at the 32. Thomas up to the 40, 35-yard punt. Jay, why don't you, late flag, by the way. Why don't you give me 5, though?
You're going to love this one. How about the top 5 HBCU sporting events, period? On the bubbles of Florida Classic. We'll be there at the end of the year. Number 5 is the Bayou Classic, which used to be the granddaddy of them all in terms of football games. Number 4, Atlanta Battle of Bands. All those bands come there, compete for prize money. You need to see it. Number 3, Howard Homecoming. It is what it is. It is what it is. I've been all over. It is what it is. Number 2, the CIAA. You know what that is?
Tell me.
It's the CIAA basketball tournament.
Oh, you're changing sports on me.
It's in Charlotte, and it is the number 2 in attendance, only behind the ACC basketball tournament in terms of attendance. And number 1, oh, go and wait and see. What do you think it may be?
What do you mean wait and see?
We'll
We're
change
there,
that.
man.
Hey, it's called Jay's Gimme 5, Mark, not Mark Neely's Gimme 5. We want to hold it, we hold it. Ask Dennis Lanius. You'll learn the hard way. Jay's Gimme 5. You want to have a Gimme 5? We'll talk about it.
Okay. From the Magic City Classic here in Birmingham, it's 4:27 to play third quarter. And a handoff to Cyrus.
Fumble. Did he fumble the ball?
And he did, and A&M says they have it, and do.
Uh-oh.
Kennard Johnson. Well, every time you think Alabama State's just going to push A&M away, something like this has happened today.
I mean, it happened quick. Let's see if there was a clean exchange. Yeah, clean exchange, never gripped it. Just a good job of getting his hands in there with number 92, Dominic Wright. And that's the turnover that the Bulldogs desperately needed.
And first down for A&M from the ASU 27. Lee retreats back to the air, and there's an incomplete pass to Williams. We've seen a lot of those underthrown balls on the run.
We've seen a lot of receivers going down to make catches on the ground. The quarterback doesn't get hit. I understand if you get hit. Is anybody hitting them? As a quarterback, you got to make that throw. And what do we say? You have to make that throw all day, every day, twice on Sundays. Well, I guess NFL would say twice on Sundays if you want to get paid. But that's the difference in having a passing attack that is efficient and can hurt you, and having an attack.
Ruling on the field, catch.
Wow. So they actually ruled that a catch up at the 23-yard line, and they're going to review the play. Let's take another look.
Going down.
Well, the catch by O'Darius Williams.
But once again, that's that catch that should be more than just a 4-yard gain. I mean, at the time when I saw the play, I didn't think he caught it. That's a lot of football on the turf. He's clinching it.
But since the call on the field, Jay, is catch, I haven't seen anything yet that's going to overturn it. Though I couldn't argue the other way either.
Yep. And when that happens, what do you do?
Go with what's on the field.
Confirms it. But those are the little things. I mean, you make a nice play call, you get a wide receiver that's wide open. They do not get any yards after catch. I shouldn't say they don't get any. They leave a number of yards after catch on the football field.
Curtis Livingston, our referee, waiting for the call down from Ken Dollar and Ron Gilbert up in the replay booth. So if the call stands, you're looking at a 2nd and 6 from the 23. Otherwise, looking at a 2nd and 10 from back at the 27. And I think the Alabama State fans, you know, especially if they can find the end zone here again, I think the Bulldog fans have been saying ever since the first score of the game and then the blocked extra point, make that extra point miss hurt at some point. And they have been able to do that, but have also avoided the knockout punch.
That is true. I like the way you summarize that, because you still just have that feeling in your head like that extra point could come back and hurt Alabama State. Can A&M put together enough consecutive drives to possibly get the lead and put the pressure on Alabama State and make them play from behind?
Alabama State's won the last 2 years. The last time A&M won was back in 2011. They blocked a field goal at the end of the game to hang on and win by 1, 20-19. Here's our official call.
The ruling on the field, stance, it's a catch.
So it stands, what we had talked about. Nothing there on video to overturn it.
Wow, that's about a minute minute and a half of my life I'll never get back.
I was going to say it was about 2 minutes.
Yeah, to make the call over the 4-yard completion.
Second down at 6. Lee under pressure, sack back at the 29. Darius Washington with his 4th sack of the season.
This is just a great job of knowing where you're going. You're going to see him come straight to the quarterback. Somebody hit him, please. You don't let guys get running starts on your quarterback. Nothing that Lee can do there.
It was linebacker spot. Washington, as I mentioned, now 4 sacks. Started his collegiate career at Western Kentucky. The South Florida kid out of Fort Lauderdale.
And as much as Alabama State likes to blitz, you had to know blitz was coming. They blitzed just to take you out of field goal range.
Screen pass set up, but Eldemeyer tackled at the 30 for just a yard, and that was number 8 again, Darius Washington.
And just like that, things changed. Alabama A&M was in pretty good position. Looking at 2nd and 6, and then they don't pick up a blitz. That takes them out of field goal range, and now another short completion. Now you're in limbo, 3rd and more than 10 yards to go. Out of field goal range, forced to go for it here on 4th down.
4th and 13 going forward from the 29.
Attack the middle. I'd send one guy up the seam and another guy right here. Put somebody in a bind. They're playing real soft coverage.
Lee's going to go towards the end zone and airmail it all the way out. No chance. Even though the receiver there, Johnson, was well covered. And A&M now 0 for 2 on 4th down today, and turn it over on downs. Magic City Classic from Birmingham. Entertainment everywhere you look in Birmingham this weekend. ASU taking over after Alabama A&M turned it over on downs, beginning from their own 29-yard line. Lose the football again. Did Cyrus pick it back up? He did. That's just about, that was almost back-to-back fumbles by Cyrus on his last 2 carries. Well, he did fumble it, but he recovered it there.
And I know what they're trying to do. Normally after a fumble, a running back.
Yeah, that was an exchange problem there.
That's an exchange. That's an outside stretch zone. You really have to hustle if you're a quarterback getting out there to get the ball to him. But normally with the running back, all the great ones, when they fumble, they run harder when they get the ball. I mean, right now in the NFL today, when DeMarco Murray, you know he's going to fumble. But after he fumbles, there's going to be a price to pay.
I don't know if Cyrus can run any harder than he does all the time, man. It's hard to bring down. He's pass blocking here, and the catch by Hanna right near the marker at the 39.
This is close.
I'm going to say he's short. So 3rd and less than a yard.
It'd be 4th down.
4th down. Yeah, they have 3rd down on the marker, but this should be 4th down. Now they do change it. Yep.
You need to think about if you're going for it.
I think they think it.
Careful.
They're calling. Now he's going to call a timeout. Yeah, there was confusion there whether that was 3rd or 4th down for Alabama State, and they were about to run the play.
Yeah, and I think that would have been a mistake. I mean,
he's pointing, and it's not the chain gangs guy's responsibility. I know sometimes they're a little late in flipping the down marker. And Reggie's saying, hey, I thought it was 3rd down. That's just after they changed it to 4th down. And he's like, hey, well, wait a minute. It's 4th down.
Yep.
I need a timeout.
Yeah, they forgot about the fumble by Cyrus, which was on 1st down.
Right.
So, fumble by Cyrus, run by Cyrus, and incomplete, then a completed pass just now.
And not to put it on the PA announcer, but he also said 3rd down upcoming, 3rd and 1. So, and the scoreboard hit was showing, and still shows 3rd down. A little reminiscent. What was it, Colorado? They got 5 downs.
Yep.
Against Missouri back in the day, yeah.
Against your alma mater, huh? You haven't forgotten that, have you?
Colorado actually shared the national championship there.
Right.
So they are going to punt, which is not a shock. And the short punt lands at the 37. It takes an A&M bounce back towards the 40. Let's take a peek at our FCS news and notes. 11 different conferences in the top 25 in the FCS. Sacred Heart ranked for the first time in school history. Austin Peay snapped an 18-game losing skid. That was last week against Murray State. And North Dakota State, they've had a few scares, but they're still winning. They won 31 in a row, looking for title number 4 in a row.
Yeah, they don't measure by regular season success.
Yeah.
North Dakota State and the Bison, it's all about postseason success. But who lost? Austin Peay beat Murray State. You know how many points per game Austin Peay was averaging? 8 points a game.
Not going to win a whole lot of games.
They were the worst offense in FCS football. And they got a victory though.
A&M offense back on the field, beginning at their own 40. These passes out of reach of Montarius Smith.
Yeah. That's tough. As a quarterback watching this, I mean, and he's struggling. You're not always going to have your A-game stuff, just like major league pitchers don't go out there with their A+ stuff all the time. But there's just certain passes as a quarterback that you've been completing that you like to think you can complete with your eyes closed. 5 yard out from the slot receiver is one of those routes.
A wobbly pass, but gathered by O'Darius Williams, who fights his way up near the marker right in midfield. Should have a first down with that spot.
And now, the defensive line put a hit on Lee,
who was a game time decision today because of a hamstring tweak from last week. There was a chance we thought we'd see Chris Leachman, who has warmed up a time or two today. And Lee's now taking a seat on the turf. And the training staff comes out to check on him. And right now is the redshirt junior quarterback, Chris Leachman, number 17. There's Leachman, who's a taller quarterback than Lee. He's at 6'3". Lee's 6'1". Leachman has thrown 14 passes so far this year, and the Southern California native, no TDs, no picks in the 3 games he's played. Well, Roderick Henderson, number 94, has been all over Lee today, and that one just kind of rolled over on him. Rolled up.
Unfortunately, that wasn't a penalty call, but that's why you do it. When you're throwing the football, you're in the most defenseless position you can be on a football field. But now with Leachman come in, they say we'll still run that pistol, but we will change our passing patterns a little bit more. Stretch the ball downfield a little bit and allow Leachman to pick the team apart in there. But it'll be short-lived appearance by Leachman.
Yeah, one handoff to Harris, who goes for no gain, and Leachman right back to the sideline as Lee says he's ready to get back in there. How about the hamstring issue he's been dealing with this week? How much does that affect your throwing mechanics, Jeff?
I mean, because they haven't really had him do a lot of scrambling, it's been pocket presence. So I wouldn't say too much.
Maybe a half yard that time for Harris. Running inside the tackles with that big D line of Alabama State, or that ASU front, punishing the 5'9", 165-pound running back. You can tell just the way he's standing and walking a little bit. He's feeling it. Lee better get rid of it. He's hit hard. Low, incomplete at the 20, looking for Smith. And Lee took another hard shot just as he delivered that. And that one came from Justin Mitchell.
Interior defensive lineman coming right up the middle. I mean, they both play nose tackle. That was more Mitchell just finishing off the tackle. That was started by Mosley coming off the edge.
So we'll see how Lee responds. Now on the sideline, Carton, short punt. Thomas comes up to grab it. That's a loose football and taken by A&M. McKenzie recovers at the 20. Another ASU turnover gives A&M the ball back.
Thomas is a great return man, trying to catch the ball on the run, which is always difficult when you're running full speed ahead. Alabama A&M capitalized with a great opportunity on special teams. And this has been the issue that Coach Barlow's had with Alabama State. I mean, we've seen them at times where we thought we're looking at the best team talent-wise in HBCU football. But they have a tendency to play their competition. Now, they can play at a very high level, which is good. They have that ability. But a team like Alabama A&M, which we think they should be moving around and pushing around, is still in this football game because of self-inflicted turnovers.
Fourth Alabama State turnover, and Lee right back in there, goes in the air and has his man open. Touchdown Smith, and the Aggies are right back in it with 3:43 to go and can make it a one-score game. 19-yard touchdown, Smith's fourth TD of the season.
That was a great route by Smith, and that's the same play they called the play before. You saw Spady talking to him about it, saying he was open and Lee couldn't step into it. Well, this time Lee was able to step into the throw. Nice pocket. They protected it. And he throws a strike by Terry Smith.
And the point after, and A&M again within 6, 27-21 with a lot of football still to play in Birmingham.
Take a look at this route by Smith. He's going to run what we used to call a little Z post up the seam. He's going to get here. He's going to sail the corner route and then break it off back into the post. Very difficult to defend. He runs this route very efficiently. He's going outside, cuts back inside. Once the defensive back turns his hips, he breaks it off and snaps off the route to the middle for the touchdown. That looked like a passing play. The timing was there. There was a rhythm there. And what do you know it? They're only down by 6 points again.
You see the C on the jersey, the captain, Jamison Lee, with the touchdown passes, 11th of the year. And that route by Smith just had the corner, Gilbert, Doing a 360 there. He spun all the way around.
Spun him around. They baited him. He closed his alignment a little bit. Move a little bit closer to the line. That gave him more room to set up the outside move and then take one cut back inside to separate from that safety. And you can tell that's one of those plays where schematically you see something because they went right back to it. They said, if we get in this formation, this is the look we're going to get. And they practiced that all week, and it paid off for Alabama A&M.
Cesar Diaz-Ramon kicks off, and another short kick taken by Thomas at the 13. 30, 35, 40. Thomas tackled from behind at the 48. Well, Jimbo Fish still had the number one.
We're still undefeated. Still undefeated.
But can you understand some of the voters going with Mississippi State right now, since Seminoles have had a couple of close calls?
Yes, I can see it, but I just don't think it's right necessarily. I mean, show me a team that's going to beat Florida State.
At least you have an open mind. I like that about you. Cyrus running right, runs out of bounds at the 47. Well, the script so far today, Jay, has been this. A&M has been hanging around, but this is the point where ASU then puts the ball in the end zone again, and you think, okay, they're going to create some separation.
And this becomes the time where if you're Alabama A&M, you dial up some of your best blitzes. Your defense has to step up and make a play to stop and see if your offense can take the lead.
Give it right back to Cyrus, who's got some great blocking on the edge, still going inside the 30 to the 27-yard line before he's brought down by Justin Lucas in a 20-yard run.
Talk about the offensive line. Take a look at this job here, right? Number 60 in white, Damian Love. Come around here, and this is what you call sealing the edge. But he's coming around there. He's looking. Who do I hit? Seal the edge. That springs Cyrus and gives him more room in the open field.
Linebacker Darren Graham was his victim coming around the edge there. Right back to Cyrus. Graham able to get the tackle this time. 3 minutes to go in this third quarter.
They're starting to focus on Cyrus. They've been giving him carries. Watch number 10. Bottom of your screen, Demario Bell.
Cyrus now at 134 yards. Here's his 19th carry, but he's tackled for a loss. So subtract about 2 there, brought down at the 30. It's Anthony Lanier.
And Lanier, he's a good one. He's been active. What do you want from your defensive line? You want those high energy guys, and we've called his name several times around the football. Just a sophomore, but 6'6", 260 pounds. He's got good size and tremendous upside potential.
Third down and 12. Bell at the bottom of your screen. 3 receivers to the left for Duhart. Looking in that direction, and now has to roll out right. And just throw it away. Actually, threw it away, but he kept it in play. And actually gave number 34, Devontae Simon, a little false hope like he may actually pick that ball off. Fourth down.
Well, Duhart's going to the sideline. I'm not so sure that Alabama State doesn't decide to go for it here.
Well, you're looking at a 47-yard field goal attempt.
Yep, and they can't kick.
So it's out of the question.
Alabama State has struggled with the kicking game in this game, so I like the decision here to go for it.
44 yards has been the longest field goal hit this year by Clark. I think they have the free play, and now they're just going to whistle it dead. That didn't work out all that well earlier in the game for Alabama State. They thought they had a free play and wound up throwing a pick.
And unfortunately for Alabama State, quick whistle. I'm sure they would have liked the play to continue.
Offsides, defense, 53. 5 yards, remain, 4th down.
Well, not enough for the first down, but does cut it to 4th and 7. And I think now is where Reggie Barlow's thinking, oh, maybe this is going to be in the range of Clark, or do I go for it?
Thinking about it over there, but in the back of his mind, he has to be thinking, those kicks look really bad earlier, and the potential for a block as well.
So they're going to go for it on 4th and 7. They may still be debating, so they're going to take a timeout. The Hornets do. But
30.
here's the factors that are part of the decision-making process for Reggie Barlow right now. The kicking game has not been good for the Hornets.
Yeah, they start off after scoring a touchdown, had the extra point blocked. So you knew something wasn't where it should be, and then Alabama A&M didn't even rush the kicker, and that ball didn't get above 10 feet off the ground.
Yeah, that was a 37-yard attempt that was missed on their second possession of the game.
So when that happens, coaches lose confidence, and then they start thinking about other factors. In this case, I cannot fault him, because if that kick is blocked, Alabama A&M would love to capitalize on special teams and get a kick return for a touchdown to take the lead.
But their kicker, Preston Clark, came in 11 for 13 in field goal attempts, along with 44, and hit it 23 at 24-point afters. But no question, today's been a little different story.
Yep, and they've been actively pursuing the kicker, coming across the edge, using the speed rush.
But if you're the Alabama A&M defense, Jay, what you've been talking about, a chance to make a stop right here.
Yep. Give it to it.
4th down and 7. Duhart sets up the screen. This is Lucas, and he's going to have the first down at the 12. 13-yard gain, needed 7.
Every time it gets an obvious pass situation, they use this screen package to perfection, getting the balls to the playmakers in space, realizing that they're going to be playing zone coverage. It's good recognition. Really way to take advantage of a defense that's playing too far off.
And did you see ASU lineman Damian Love? He completely took out the defender on the edge. Run to about the 10 for Cyrus. It's some hard hits over there on the sideline. DeAndre Lewis supplying one, the quarterback for A&M, for the tackle. Pick up of a couple. 2nd down and 8 from the 10. Cyrus to the 5. So it's going to be 3rd and short. They can pick up a first down without scoring. The first down marker up to 2. With the 2 tight ends.
Yeah, I like that balanced formation, makes the defense declare their hand. That's a good time to run Cyrus off tackle.
It looks like A&M will use a timeout. Well, ESPN on Tuesday brings you college football playoff top 25. Our committee of college football analysts debate who the top teams in the country are right now. College football playoff top 25 presented by Allstate, Tuesday at 7:30 on ESPN and watch ESPN. So now all the real debate begins, because we're going to have, in theory here, Jay, for this college football playoff, hard numbers, thoughts from the committee, guidance. You know, if the season ended today, boom, these are the 4 teams, and we go from there.
And I think that's a tough part. If the season ended today, when you know there's a huge matchup looming between Ole Miss and Mississippi State, you know, Alabama's going to have some say in there. They still have some say-so on who they play. I mean, you know, Alabama's going to play Auburn.
Right.
So out of those one-loss teams, very, very tough job. I do like what they're trying to do, but the fundamental problem I still have when they came out with 14, I don't know if it answers questions. I mean, you've got a team out there like Marshall that can be undefeated, and they may not be in the toughest conference in America, but they don't get an opportunity to win national championship for that dream season that everybody loves. I think they need to expand the number of teams.
You may be a few years ahead of your time. 9th play of the drive coming up here. Started at their own 48. Give to Cyrus, and he finds the end zone for the first time today. His 6th rushing touchdown of the year, and ASU responds right back.
Good runners know how to smell the end zone. One cut against the grain, takes a hit into the end zone, and Cyrus finally scores a touchdown in his last Magic City Classic.
There's an A&M player down, DeAndre Lewis, one of the linebackers, taken up in the end zone. Miami, Florida, went to Miami Central High School and began playing college football at Florida Atlantic. He was a redshirt for them back in 2011 before transferring. One of their leading tacklers this year. He helped to his feet. 9-play drive for Alabama State. Playing with a relatively short field. Went 52 yards in under 3 minutes, and the 5-yard touchdown run for Cyrus, who's now up to 140 yards rushing. But again, going to script, Jay. Every time Alabama A&M makes it a 1-score game, Hornets are able to come right back and make it a 2-score game.
And the defense had a great opportunity. You had Alabama State facing 4th and 15. 4th and 12.
Do you agree with them chasing the points right here with 49 seconds left in the third quarter, going for 2?
I wouldn't.
Cyrus makes a flip. And Henry tackled back at the 15th. So now 33-21. It's still a 2-possession game, but it seemed a little early to be chasing the points, Jay.
I thought so, because you could have made up that 1 point you lost with an extra point with a field goal attempt if you make one. So a little bit risky there, but feeling confident in his squad.
Malcolm Cyrus finally found the end zone. Duhart allowing him to score.
Allowing him to score. But he's been running the football very hard, showing you why he's on the Peyton Award watch list. The senior running back has done a fantastic job of being the go-to guy, and even after he fumbled, he came back with some big runs and showing you not only can do it running the football, but pretty nifty receiver out the backfield. And they're all good running backs. When they get close to the end zone, that's a wrap.
Most rushing yards in ASU history. Malcolm Cyrus now at nearing 2,300. And you notice we just showed his touchdown run. He took a lick from the 6'1", 215-pound linebacker DeAndre Lewis. Cyrus, the kid at 5'10", 180, was the kid who popped right up. And Lewis was down on the turf for a while longer.
That's what we say about Cyrus and the good running backs. They finish off runs. They put a hit on the defenders.
Miles being pushed all the way back to the 10. He almost had that ball stripped. Miles had a big run back over 50 yards on a kick earlier in the game, but since then has not found the going as good. That's an 11-yard return, but with the forward progress, I'm going to spot the ball at the 16, just outside the 15. From Birmingham, Alabama, the 73rd annual Magic City Classic. Great to have you with us, along with former NFL quarterback Jay Walker and our ESPN crew. I'm Mark Neely, and it has been more than a weekend party. You got here, what, on Wednesday?
Yeah.
Some folks were here on Monday.
There's a lot to do here, and many people start planning and preparing for this game the day after the game.
Getting ready for next year. Getting ready for the 74th edition a year from now. Lee hands off. Eldemeyer turns it upfield. Breaking free! And Alabama A&M. Eldemeyer, will he be caught? Yes, at the 21. Deontay Ponder prevented a touchdown. But Eldemeyer had a step or two and goes for 63 yards.
Yeah, great job finding the crease, and then turning on the Jets becomes a foot race. Eldemeyer doesn't win the foot race, but big play that the Bulldogs desperately needed.
63-yard run for Eldemeyer, and it's a first down at the 21 of ASU for A&M. Harris, like he was going to be stopped for a minimal gain, but squeaks through up to the 18 for a gain of about 4. Final seconds of this third quarter. A&M trying to respond to the last ASU score. Bulldogs hanging around. Fourth quarter ahead in this Magic City Classic.
They're so nice down there. Somebody came by yesterday and gave me filet mignons preseason to put on my grill. Where else you gonna find that, Mark?
And yes, Jay did just say in his RV that he has here at the Magic City Classic. Somebody gave him some filet mignon.
Yes, and not quite the Madden Cruiser, but we're working on it. We're working on it. Best time I've had, period. Really, I mean, tailgating, living in the parking lot, it was well worth it.
Here's the flip and running right. Smith has a block on the edge, inside the 10, inside the 5, all the way down near the 1-yard line. Tackled by Darius Washington. That goes for 16 for Monterius Smith.
Little trickeration. They know they've got a strong defensive line they're facing. Give them some misdirection. Force them to use their strength against them and give it to your impact player, we thought, Monterius Smith, and see if he can get into the end zone. Nice play selection from Alabama A&M.
Eldemeyer, is he in?
Nice.
Yes, touchdown. 2-yard TD run for Brandon Eldemeyer, and A&M comes right back.
You know what I like about this run? When you're a little running back and you get to the end zone, watch him get low. You're going to see number 1, Eldemeyer. Watch when he gets close to the goal line. He's going to see it and dive low for the goal line. He's there. He's looking. There it is. Get low. If you're trying to hit him high, you missed. He saw the end zone. He saw the goal line. Said, I'm going to beat you to it. Got low. That's smart red zone running.
Cesar Diaz-Ramon on for the point after. Knocks it through, and it's a 33-28 5-point game. Just 19 seconds into the fourth quarter. Well, Monday, the Redskins take on the NFC East leading Cowboys. Monday at 8:15 on ESPN, and watch ESPN. No other night is Monday night. Cowboys have to be one of the surprise teams this year so far, don't they?
Doing well. Up around my way. Folks up there wondering when's RG3 coming back on the field. Colt McCoy taking on a lot about it. Colt McCoy is going to start. He's going back to Texas. He was a legend in Texas. He's going to be starting against the Cowboys in Dallas. Tough assignment.
Saw the numbers on Eldemeyer. Really had a nice drive there. Had a key 63-yard run, and then topped it off with his 2-yard TD run.
And I thought you brought up a good point. They decided to go for too early. So now you're in that position where and it hasn't happened yet. They've been knocking on the door a couple times. They haven't done it. But if Alabama A&M were to score a touchdown, get the lead, they can go for 2 and put you down by a field goal.
Right.
So,
or if you look at it a different way, technically A&M could kick 2 field goals and win the game.
And win the game. So,
but I got a feeling we haven't seen the last of the scoring today.
No. But there's now pressure on this Alabama State offense to put more points on the board.
Joshua Davis with the return. Hit up near the 30-yard line. Bernard Johnson with the tackle on special teams, and a big deep breath there for Reggie Barlow, now in his 8th season. 3-4 record against A&M, though he and his team have won 3 of the last 4.
And that's surprising. I would have thought he had a winning record versus Alabama A&M, but there were times where this game right here has cost them their season, where they went downhill after they lost the game and they were controlling their own destiny. And that's a game. This is the game that becomes must win. And right now, Coach Barlow, I think everybody in the whole state thinks Alabama State has a better team. They're supposed to win this game, and it will be a tremendous jolt of energy for an Alabama A&M program if they can somehow pull off the upset.
Thomas took a hard hit but stayed on his feet to advance another 5 or 6 yards up to the 41 and a first down. 11-yard run. Dominic Wright with the tackle. And an A&M player down. Ricky Clark. Training staff on to check on the freshman out of Athens, Georgia. Ricky Clark, whose nickname is Big Kick. He's a big man, 6'2", 325 pounds.
And that's a new generation of defensive player for Alabama A&M. For years when they had Bronski Towns, who was their defensive coordinator forever, 20 plus years, almost 30. He likes small, nimble guys on the defensive line. Well, now Reggie Johnson and head coach James Spady came together and said, we need big interior guys. And I can see that. I think you do need that. I mean, the one thing the state of Alabama and down south they're known for, the big guys. Big guys in the trenches that can play defensive line. So that's a change of the philosophy where you've got a freshman now playing because they're changing their philosophy. They're taking their lumps.
Good to see Clark get off the field under his own power. Cyrus running left. Cuts it back to the 43 for a couple of yards. Wrestled down by Justin Brown.
Always a little bit different for me to commentate an Alabama A&M game without having Anthony Jones on the sideline. You mentioned James Spady and Coach Jones. I think when you look back on it, he had a really good run with Alabama A&M, and obviously everybody in the HBCU community is thinking about Coach Jones and going through it. We're all with you.
That's Jalen Ware, a sophomore right tackle for Alabama State, who is one of a number of guys who had been banged up the last couple of weeks and really needed that last bye week last weekend. Hobbling off the field. And Ware, who went to Valley High School, Valley, Alabama, and you see 82 Barnes off under his own power. He was shaken up as well on that last play. So 2 Hornets players dinged up on that last offensive play, which is 2nd and 8 coming up now. But again, the script, Jay, has been at this point, this is where Alabama State finds the end zone again. Can the Alabama A&M defense at a minimum keep them to 3 here? Because that still keeps it a 1-score game, the way things have gone with the missed conversions for them.
At a minimum, but they have yet to rise to the occasion. Alabama State has 33 points on the scoreboard already, and I think they would tell you they probably should have had 50 points in this game right now.
On 3rd and short, Cyrus first down up to the 41-yard line. Justin Lucas with the tackle, but Malcolm Cyrus piling up the yardage. Came in at 9-12. He's well over 1,000 now on the season.
It's just, nice shake in small space and hard-nosed runner.
Back to 22, Cyrus. Took a hit at the 41. Or a gain of 2. That's Brower, number 32, with the stop. Cyrus is going to go to the sideline with a 2nd down and 8 coming up. Looks like a little confusion on the personnel here for ASU.
And it's such an up-tempo offense that whenever they do operate like a normal offense and change the personnel and wind down the play clock, you think something's wrong.
Play clock's at 5. Plenty of time to still get the playoff, and the run straight ahead. Coleman has not had many carries today, but junior Jahad Coleman with a first down run up to the 25. That's a 14-yard gallop for the junior.
And coming into the season, they thought it was going to be Coleman and Cyrus, but the emergence of Khalid Thomas and Coleman getting injured limited his availability. But Coleman's a good back as well.
Coleman with another carry, but this time tackled for a loss back at the 29 by Anthony Lanier. Coleman's a New Jersey kid, Plainfield, New Jersey. Long look to the sideline with a 2nd and 14.
And surprised we don't see Demario Bell on the field right now. When I think this would be a position where you might go play action.
Going back around with Josh Davis. That's well played though by the A&M defense, and Brower again. Big 3rd down coming up right here, Jay.
Biggest one of the game. They still have a chance. I mean, they've been poor on 3rd down all football game, but now you still have a chance here in the 4th quarter where you need your defense to make a stop. And I would say more importantly, it's probably 2-down territory for Alabama State. So you need to come up with your best defensive plays so far. And we're yet to see them bring a blitz. Too much respect. I'd bring pressure.
Duhart's going to throw it too high. Well, Lucas tried to contort. He was at the 12, so if he comes up with that, it is a first down. But here's what you were just talking about, Jay. They go for it here.
Nice pocket. See them, he's got plenty of time. I thought I would have brought pressure, but Duhart high and late. You have to make that throw.
Well, they're going to bring the field goal unit out here. You surprised?
I am, but I think, you know, they realize those points may come into play. And Duhart didn't really make a good throw or read on that last play.
44-yard attempt, which if he hits it would equal his long of the year for Preston Clark out of the hold of Ephraim Henderson. And another low bullet, and it hit the upright. All right, the crossbar went in. Through.
And I think Alabama A&M is going to regret not putting pressure. If they would have come with a hard rush up the middle.
That's the craziest kick I've ever seen right there. A low liner off the crossbar and threw it. Reggie Barlow saying, oh yeah, that's how we planned it. And they're up by 8. Well, 6 total turnovers today, 4 from Alabama State, 2 from Alabama A&M. And we've got a tight one here in this Magic City Classic. Daniel Duhart has 3 touchdown runs for ASU. And Jamison Lee just under 200 yards passing, 2 TDs, 1 pick. And it is an 8-point game, 36-28, ASU leading. So in theory here, you have the Bulldogs a touchdown and a 2-point conversion away from tying. So they did at least hold them to a field goal. One of the ugliest looking field goals I've ever seen, but it was a completed and made field goal. From the 2, McKenzie. McKenzie breaks another tackle. And it takes the kicker to haul him down at the 38, Adam Shepard. It's twice today we've seen the kicker make a tackle on special teams.
They had this bottled up pretty good, but everybody just started watching, and nobody actually tried to tackle McKenzie until the kicker came up. And that's 2 touchdown saving tackles we've seen from kicker from Alabama State.
Here come the Bulldogs and Jamison Lee from their own 38, down 8. 11:23 to go in this 4th quarter. And the 73rd annual Magic City Classic from Birmingham, Alabama. Lee has room to run if he elects to. Gets a nice block, and he's going to go for 12 yards up to midfield. That was Courtney Brown who laid the block. Courtney Berry eventually making the tackle on Lee at a 14-yard run.
And this is unfortunate. You can tell Lee not at 100% because there was a nice crease to run there, but doesn't have his mobility. That leg seems to be bothering him. He's just trying to tough it out.
We did see Chris Leachman, the backup quarterback, for 1 play. With that exception, it's been all Jamison Lee. Harris wrapped up at the 48 of ASU for 2 yards, make it possibly close to 3. For the freshman from Montgomery.
And what I think happens here is they saw that run that Lee's not going to be able to escape. So aggressive defenses, they see that. That's like a wounded animal. They're going to send some pressure off him, try and force him to leave the pocket or chuck and duck and get rid of the football.
Comes the blitz, well picked up. One-on-one coverage out there, and down with the football and a completed pass to Dorsey inside the 20.
He's getting it. What did we say earlier? If they're going to blitz you, that's one-on-one. Find your best matchup and deliver the football. And he didn't try and throw this ball 100 miles an hour. He threw the ball with some touch that allowed the receiver to run underneath it. Take a look at this. Put some air under the ball. Let the receiver adjust, go up, and make a great football catch.
He came down hard, and you saw Dorsey come out, and as soon as he got to the sideline, went to his back. Hopefully just got the wind knocked out of him, but feeling the effects of what was a 29-yard pickup. You know, he's 6'6", and he came down hard on that turf.
And that football hurts when you land on it squarely.
The previous play is under review.
Again, hopefully just knock the wind out of him, but he's needing some extra time. And the fact that he's so close to the field, they're not resuming play, and it's also allowed the replay booth to take another couple of looks and make sure it was actually a legitimate catch.
But I like here is the protection. They went with max protection, and so they kept people in. You know what I mean by keeping people in? If you know they're going to blitz you, what do you tell your quarterback? Feel secure. This was just a 2-receiver route. Everybody else stayed in the block.
Watch for the possession. Did he have it? It hit. I don't think there's enough to overturn it there with the call on the field being catch, but it was really close because right there he hauls it in, and then within a fraction of a second he hits the ground. Rolled over.
He's showing the ball. I mean, they tell you if you're going to leave your feet, show the ball to the official right away. He showed the ball to the official. I think that constitutes a catch.
Good to see him on his feet there.
Ruling on the field is confirmed. It's a catch.
So they're in the red zone for the 6th time today. They've scored on 4 of their 5 previous trips.
And once the defense figures out that if you blitz, they're going to bring max protection, protect the quarterback, and pick up matchups, that'll make them have a change in philosophy. So I really do like the play selection by offensive coordinator Phil Dorn.
Low snap and bounce, but gathered by Lee, who then is sacked. Back at the 28 by Edward Mosley. That play just started poorly for A&M with the low snap that Lee needed time to even pick up off the turf.
The low snap. You thought he was going to get rid of the football, but this is just too much time. That clock has to be going off in your head, and because he's not 100% with his mobility, all he can do is just sit there and take the blow from Edward Mosley.
5th sack of the year for Mosley and lost 8. Hand off Harvey Harris. Looking to cut it back. Knocked down at the 22-yard line by Justin Mitchell, number 95. Those 300-pounders, they're big, Jay, but you know, they do have some mobility. They can move.
They can move, and that's what's changing the game in college football. Now the premium is on defensive linemen. I mean, it's the same reason why Jadeveon Clowney was the first pick in the NFL draft. The game becoming more offensive friendly in terms of the defensive secondary, then you need guys that can rush passers and running backs, and that's why the defensive line are going at a premium.
3rd and 14. 7 on the play clock. Lee steps up, throws, incomplete for Smith. Right between 2 defenders at the 5-yard line. So it's going to be 4th down. Decision time?
I think if you think your kicker can make it, you go for it.
Okay.
You know, with this range. And
That's
a
what
good
they're
throw
going to
there
do.
by Lee. Lee threw a bullet. You need your senior wide receiver Smith to make that catch.
It wasn't a bad throw, was it?
Yeah, in between the safety and the cornerback, you wonder if Smith knew he was going to get hit. Lost concentration.
40-yard attempt for Cesar Diaz-Ramon, which would equal his longest field goal of the season. It has the distance and the accuracy. He splits them.
They're just hanging around.
They are. And they cut it down to a 5-point game. For tonight, the 73rd annual Magic City Classic's been a good one between ASU and A&M, 36-31. Lining up here for an onside kick. And it goes out of bounds. They had a chance.
They tricked them. They had somebody on the wing, and Alabama State did not account for them. They were so worried about the onside kick coming up the middle. Take a look here at the bottom.
And Lorenzo Jackson, number 41. Another stride or so, and he comes up with that.
They practiced that. They got the look they wanted. They didn't see him. They did not see him.
Kick out of bounds on A&M. Be 5 yards at it from the spot where it went out of bounds there.
Well,
1st and 10.
I understand here, Jay, that they came close to pulling this off, but they just gave ASU the ball at midfield.
But what do we talk about in between the break? They haven't stopped them all day. We said, you think the defense is going to make a stop? And we both said they haven't done it yet when they've really been called upon this situation. So I don't fault you becoming aggressive in that situation and trying to just force something that hasn't been there for you.
Last time they kept ASU from scoring, the A&M defense, was 3 possessions ago for the Hornets. They had a 3 and out, but there haven't been many of those. There's a big tackle. Cyrus brought down by Dillard. Davion Dillard, a freshman.
And now they're changing it up. They brought the blitz from the outside, so hadn't seen that before. They brought double corner blitzes from both sides of the field. So that's an outside run blitz there. So they're trying to give Alabama State a dose of their own medicine, realizing the urgency of the situation.
Lay fake, Duhart rolling out left, finds his man on the run at the 40. That's Wendell Archie.
It's a good job by Daniel Duhart. Not an easy throw, rolling to his left. Threw that ball almost across his body, but still threw a ball that was catchable enough for the receiver Archie to make the catch.
Catch for Archie brings up a 3rd down and 2. And the 1st down run for Jahad Coleman. The fact that we're seeing Coleman here and not Cyrus.
A little bit surprising, but let you know the depth they have at that running back position.
Cyrus is fine. There he is on the sideline, catching a breather.
Thomas is there too. They're all waiting. When's my turn? So I guess it's one of those situations where they said they wanted to get some more runs, more rushes from Coleman, and they'll let him finish out the drive.
Coleman wrapped up there and pushed back. A big number 63, Jawanza Vickers. 148 yards rushing for Malcolm Cyrus, a 6-game 100+. 1 touchdown run today, is 6th of the season. Loss of 2, 2nd down and 12. Three receivers at the bottom of your screen, including Bell at the very bottom. Duhart slings it at the 31-yard line, and the catch by Gamble, but he's immediately tackled at the 32.
It's kind of surprising to me how vanilla, when I say vanilla in the football term, how plain the defense has been for Alabama A&M. They don't really do anything that sophisticated. I mean, they give you a pre-snap look. Sometimes they'll go from 2 safeties to 1, but no, they don't like to blitz at all. And I think when you outman a little bit, you have to force pressure. They continue to do it conventional way, and Alabama State's been able to pick them apart.
3rd and 8 here. Clock running just over 5.5 minutes to go in this Magic City Classic. They only rush 3. Here's a pass to the end zone, up for grabs. He came down with a touch. No, he dropped it. Bell had it. For a moment, it looked like that ball may be picked off, and then all of a sudden it was right in Bell's arms, and he hit the ground and lost it.
Bell's a playmaker, and put air under and allow him to go up and be the better athlete. Good concentration. He's got it, but can't secure it. And what's that rule? If you leave your feet, you must show the ball immediately. Right there, he's got to show it. So they say the ground can't cause a fumble, but if you leave your feet, you must show it to the official right away, and he didn't have it.
Dexter Reese there on the coverage had a hand on it. And that's Reese who's down. Actually had come off the field just a few feet away from where that play took place in the end zone. And they're working on him. Reese out of Handley High School, Roanoke, Alabama. Well, Jimbo Fisher's #2 Florida State Seminoles look to stay on top of the ACC against Will Gardner and the Louisville Cardinals. It's Thursday night football. #2 Florida State taking on Louisville Thursday at 7:30 on ESPN, and watch ESPN. 5:21 to play in a game that probably most succinctly is summarized, Jay, by saying that A&M has hung around. And while they attend to Dexter Reese, we'll step aside here in Birmingham. Dexter Reese up, but very slowly walking back towards the A&M bench. And a 4th down play upcoming with 5:21 to go in the Magic City Classic. Look at the majestic court. All the pageantry here in Birmingham. 4th and 8 from the 32 of A&M. And now they're going to punt it. Try to pin him in. Fair catch called for at the 4. Start from there on the fair catch to punt. Trying to pin him in.
I thought they were going to go for it.
Yeah,
I thought, you know, they've gone for it early in this game, and you want to keep possession of the football and try and get that field goal to give yourself a little bit more security. But one thing Alabama A&M has not been able to do is drive the ball on a consistent basis down the field. They've been so reliant upon the big play. So coach put it in the hands of the defense.
To the 28-yard punt by Clark, but an effective one. And come shooting through the line was Henderson early. So that's going to help them move out a little bit from the shadow of their own goalpost.
Defense, offside, number 94. 5 yards, remain, first down.
Henderson saying, okay, my bad. Let's go.
This is what you like about college football. I mean, 2 teams in the same state. You know these kids have played against each other in high school, some of them since Pop Warner, I'm sure. Now, game 5 minutes to go in the game, 5-point lead in front of a huge crowd, the largest crowd they'll play in front of, chance to become a legend.
Eldemeyer on first down, has a first down. It was a 1st and 5 after the penalty and a late flag in. Courtney Berry stopping Eldemeyer at the 18, but this may be coming back.
Holding on the offense, 48. Half the distance. Replay, 2nd down.
I think they got the number incorrect, but nonetheless, the holding against A&M, and now they're right back at the 5-yard line again. So what comes around goes around. Now they're back to a 1st and 10 at the 5.
I'm Alabama State. I may pay special attention to Monterey Smith, slot receiver. He's the home run hitter for Alabama A&M.
Maybe a half-yard for Eldemeyer. Thrown back by number 94, Roderick Henderson. He's had a big day.
Right now, the Alabama State bench trying to get the crowd into the game, saying, very important series, come down to this, we need your help.
2nd down and 9. A&M from their own 6. Smith again in the slot at the top of the screen. Looking in his direction. Finds him, first down. 30, 35, tucked down at the 39-yard line. Darius Williams, the 33-yard catch, before he's tackled by Torbert.
Basic double slant combination. You're going to see one receiver come and clear out. Then you're going to see the outside receiver come in right behind him, and Lee throws a strike to him. This is football 101, the old Seattle pattern. Double slant, somebody out in the flat, becomes a foot race.
So here's A&M. They were down 20-7 at the half, down 13 points. They have the football in a 1-possession game, trailing by 5. Clock running under 4 minutes to go. Lee on first down, fires to the near sideline, coming back, making the catch at the 47 is Smith.
That was sweet. That route there was sweet. We saw him earlier set him up with the double move to the outside into the post. Well, this time Smith set him up with the outside fake going to the post and then went back outside. When he gets one-on-one coverage, he's having fun with the defensive backs from Alabama State.
First down, Alabama A&M from the 47 of Alabama State. Blitz coming off the edge and a whistle at the snap.
What have we seen? Throw a couple passes on Rams, he's going to blitz. And the blitz was coming again.
Prior to the snap, false start, 87, offense, 5 yards, remain, first down.
That's tight end Jonathan Dorsey, the false start. Jamison Lee, the A&M quarterback, now 18 of 33, 270 yards. Look at his numbers by half, 175 of them coming here in the second half. 2 TDs and the 1 pick back in the first half. Running with Eldemeyer. 2 to 3. Back up to midfield.
You know what I say at this point? 3 minutes ago, down by 5. You got here with Jamison Lee. Ride Jamison Lee. Eldemeyer, you're fine. But we're not going to run the football. Jamison Lee, it's your game to go out there and either win it or lose it. And that's what you want as a quarterback. You're in a position to win. You have to play great. But I'm going to keep the ball in his hands.
Showing blitz. Here they come. Lee gets rid of it quickly and too high and incomplete at the 40 for Williams. Well, the coverage was Gilbert. Lee had to get rid of it quickly because they were coming.
Tried the back shoulder fade, but off target. Folks don't realize that's a tougher throw than it looks. I mean, the ability to throw that ball on the back shoulder has to be an accurate throw.
Incompletion, stopped it with
Take a look
2:34.
right there. That's Smith in the slot. They're trying to move him around.
This is a 3rd and 12. Lee in trouble. Steps up. Now he's going deep. He's got a man. Touchdown A&M.
Wow.
Kevin McKenzie. And for the first time today, A&M has taken the lead with 2:26 to go. You just said it, Jay. You're going to win or lose with Jamison Lee. He's giving him a chance to win with that throw.
And he threw it on the money, and that was a great effort going to get the ball turned on the Jets. That was all Jamison Lee, along with a great individual effort from McKenzie. But he's going to the single receiver side again, forced to go back to the right, and sees a streaking McKenzie behind his secondary. What a play. Who would have thunked it, Mark?
I wouldn't have.
I mean, they've been getting drugged up and down the field.
Right? But just before that, I thought he was in big trouble.
Yeah, I did too. But
Comes up with that throw. SportsCenter top 10 nominee. That catch in the end zone for Tevin McKenzie. His first touchdown catch of the year. And what a spot it comes in for Alabama A&M. They're up 1, so obviously it makes sense to go for 2 here where a field goal would tie you and not beat you. With 2:26 to go, a 6-play drive that went 95 yards. It began at their own 5.
Woo. I just didn't think they had it in them going 95 yards, but they've been relying upon the big play. And it's, I mean, rivalry games, things like this happen.
Okay, Jay, but I'm not going to spoil the Bulldogs party here right now, but I will say this. ASU's going to get football back with 2:26 to go. With
a lot of time on the clock, but if you're Alabama A&M, you think if we get this, how much faith does Alabama State have in that kicking game? I mean, we saw an ugly 40-yarder go in. So I would think this is a very big 2-point conversion right now.
Trying to make it a 3-point game. Lee looking in the direction of McKenzie again. Did he have it? No, incomplete. 2-point conversion fails. They thought they had him there for a moment. Corbett on the coverage, and it stays a 1-point game.
They got the look they wanted. McKenzie was in the slot, running a corner pattern. Just lead him out there a little bit more. With the ball being underthrown, allowed the defensive back to get back into the play. They drew that up nicely executed. Just the ball was underthrown just a little bit.
They trailed by 13 at the half. They've never really been buried at any point, but you never got the sense that they would reach this pinnacle, even though there's 2:26 still to go in the game, that they would take the lead, which they have, 37-36. Special teams have been an issue for Reggie Barlow, so if it does come down to a field goal to try to win it, that's been a roll of the dice today for them.
I mean, the special team, the block, extra point.
That was after the first score of the game, on the first drive of the game in the first quarter, and then a flat field goal attempt that was missed from 37. And this one that he somehow made that skipped off the crossbar and went through, drew that reaction from Reggie Barlow. That's going to skip and almost made it to the pylon. Oh, but that's going to bring it out to the 35.
That's costly. That's one of those things you can't have happen when you're trying to protect just a 1-point lead. You're giving them an extra 15 yards by that ball going out of bounds before it crosses the pylon. No, not yet. I'll give you credit for the touchdown pass, but you need to go over there and talk to your defense.
A&M last one, 2011, won it by a point, 20-19. It's a 1-point game here. Kicking was a big issue back in 2011 that allowed A&M to win that Magic City Classic. It's allowed them to take a 1-point lead here with under 2.5 minutes to go. Daniel Duhart back to work. Immediately brought down as Lucas. Well, at least on that first play there, Jay, the A&M defense seemed pretty pumped up.
But I still don't think you're going to have much success with the 3-man rush going against an explosive big play offense at Alabama State. Too much time to go through your reads.
Rush 3 again, dumped off underneath, and on the run goes Cyrus.
Yeah.
And he has a first down up to the 47-yard line. Tackled by Justin Lucas, 12-yard gain.
And see, that's the problem you're going to have. I mean, when they know you're having a 3-man rush, there's plenty of time.
And Cyrus goes back down. You know, as far as this game is concerned, you look at that last play with Cyrus catching the screen pass. See the end of the play where he had gotten dinged up. If you're a Hornet fan, I think your concern is next week, the weeks beyond, because they have in the backup Thomas and what we've seen from Coleman today, the firepower on the ground to go win this game right now.
Yes, they do.
But long term, you want Malcolm Cyrus healthy if you're a Hornet.
Clearly want them healthy, but short term, they're down by 1.
Yeah.
They need to figure out a way to put some points on the board. And for security purposes, I'm sure a touchdown rather than a field goal attempt.
Deflected, incomplete, looking for Bell. Well, Jamison Lee, the A&M quarterback, he can't watch. He's turned around on the bench. He can hear obviously what's going on, but he's not going to watch it. Rushing 3 again, a lot of time. Duhart incomplete at the 40 for Lucas, the defender. Justin Lucas never really turned around, but a pass may have hit him in the back.
Well, and Daniel Duhart seems to be getting a little rattled right now. You have plenty of time. There's no real pressure coming on the pocket. I mean, he's been throwing good balls all day, but
that was catchable for Earl Lucas. 3rd and 10. In. Low, caught. Yes, first down. DeMario Bell.
And that's what a big-time receiver does. Wasn't a well-thrown ball, but DeMario Bell was not going to let that ball leave his grasp. He went down and got it, and that was a huge 3rd down conversion.
Yeah, 3rd and 10. They hit for 15 yards. First down at the 38-yard line of A&M. Rushing 4 this time, but another completed pass to the 28 to Bell, right near another first down for the Hornets.
You have to leave your comfort zone right now. Alabama A&M, I mean, the look you have is it's so simple and basic. 3 people rushing, everybody else playing back, soft coverage. Quarterbacks just picking you apart mentally. They have to blitz and bring some type of pressure.
They run it there for no gain with Thomas. You're already theoretically, and I say theoretically, in field goal range to try to win the game with a minute to go.
It'll be about a 45-yarder right now if they were to go for it. Now that's not within his range from what we've seen.
Yeah, at least today. 44 has been his long on the year for Preston Clark. Here's Duhart again with a lot of time. Throws to the sideline. Did he get down? Yes. Bell. First down at the 16. The 2 officials kind of gaze at one another and say it is a catch. Let's take another look.
This is the end of it, but when you're playing, that's a clean catch. But when you're playing that soft of coverage with no pass rush, I mean, Duhart is going through all of his region progressions. There's no sense of urgency. There's no threat to the pocket. And he's playing that way. He's just sitting back and picking you apart.
Ruling on the field is a completed catch. The previous play is under review.
And from what we saw, it looks like a completed catch. By the way, Dexter Reese, number 20, back in there defensively.